Power with lava.
We're live
Cool, man.
on our first podcast.
Cheers, dude. We've been talking about this for a little
Cheers.
bit. Cheers. All right.
We've been talking about doing this for a long time now, or at least like a decent amount. Maybe I thought about it more than I talked about it.
Well, here we are.
Oh, man. So tell me about the fucking escape room you guys did, because I've never even heard of that before you told me.
Yeah, they have like a bunch of different themes, and apparently the one that we did this last time was like the most high tech. So this one was
I picture like laser tag rooms, almost.
you're in like you start off in one room, and then in this one there was like a side room that wouldn't open, and then another side room that wouldn't open. We got the second room open. It's a huge room. It's like a laboratory, but the first room's like a small little office.
Okay.
And the whole thing is like, you see a video, this guy's talking, he's like, holy shit, I broke into the FBI, they're after me, I built this AI, her name's Ada, like, you gotta like erase everything so they can't get me, and like, I'll come back once you get rid of all this shit, like, please help me.
Are you alone?
Well, in that room, that's whoever is in your group, so there are 6 of us.
Okay.
So he's like, alright man, and then once that happens, a clock comes up and you have an hour to get out of there. If you don't get out of there in an hour, you fucked up. So then you just have like a prompt on the computer and you just gotta like start figuring shit out. So like for example, the way we started doing it was like on this computer, it was like a map of the room that you're in, and it was like something's out of place. It like says that on the actual computer screen. And if you look at the map, you're like, oh, that owl that's like on this stand is actually like on the floor. So you're like, I gotta pick up this owl and put it there, and this other thing should have been here, but it wasn't. Once you put both those things there, like you unlock like the next clue. And it just
what triggers it though? Like you put the thing there and you put that there.
No, it's a great question. So there's actually someone watching a camera like the whole time that's like actually like that like works
weird.
there. Yeah, so they're like
so
they're able to
weird.
like unlock stuff in real time as you're doing it.
Do you know it's unlocked? Are you aware that you unlocked something?
Yeah, I mean there's different cues, like either the like something will pop up on the computer screen, or you'll hear something, or like something that was like locked before, like a door you tried to, or a drawer you tried to open that was like magnetized shut will then open up, and then in there's like a key or like a little plug, and you go like plug it into the USB in the computer, and then it's like an avatar pops up, and you can like move the dude on the map, and there's a key, and like you run him over the key.
Who invented this thing?
There's
man?
tons
like,
and tons and tons of different ones.
It sounds awesome, but it almost reminds me of like a poor man's VR. Like it's like a VR. It's like you're putting yourself into like a video game.
Well, I mean, this
You're
is definitely
a real
like
life
the
video game.
VR is going to be there, like I guess in 10 years or 15 years or way sooner than that. But like this is definitely like the version of that before it becomes insane. Where you're all just like sitting in a chair with like something.
It's
just
like
sucking
you
your
want to
dick
have
and
that. You want to have that experience of what you had in that escape room, but with this headset on. Like I think that's going to be something that happens.
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, it's like I'm sure like this one that we did is like the same.
It's almost like a blueprint for a VR game or something.
Yeah, and like if anyone's gonna do that specific game, like don't listen to this because I'm gonna like tell you one of the parts of it, which is really fucking cool. But so the closet that opens up in the room, there's these 3 buttons on the wall that are like lights, and you hit it, and if you hit one of the lights, a blue light goes on, or a red light, or a green light, and you're like, what the fuck does this do? I don't know. You get these clues, you can't use them for like a while, right?
Okay.
So then we're in the second room, we did this and this and this, and then all of a sudden this game pops up on the second computer monitor in the second room, and it's like, it looks like Donkey Kong, you know, the kind of like the girders that like go side to side, and a barrel starts going down, but there's like this pole with spikes on it, and then when the barrel hits it, it explodes, and then it starts over again and again. And you're like, huh? But each like little line that has the spikes on it has 3 little flags, and each one's a color. So it might say green, blue, red. So you're like, holy shit! In the other room, you go green, blue, red, and it'll hit the buttons that correspond to green, blue, red, and then it'll slurp down, and then it'll keep going to the next one. But the thing is, some of the flags are colors that you don't have. It'll be like teal. So then they'll go, oh, do like blue and yellow, and then you got to combine the colors, and that'll get one of the flags away.
That's
and if it says like,
crazy.
if it's like white's all 3. It's like hit all 3 at the same time.
I feel like this would be a bad game to do high.
Yeah,
Like, I feel like if you're high, you would just lose so much. Like you wouldn't be paying attention. Maybe you wouldn't. I don't know. But I feel like you would definitely need to be focused.
Yeah, well, people were like, don't get high before you come. It's going to be hard as fuck. I'm like, well, people smoked after
That
before
could be a
Sausage Party.
reason to like increase the difficulty, though.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So the rooms have like easy, medium, and hard. I think the one we did was like either medium. It might have even been easy, actually. I'm not positive. But yeah, we beat it with like we get an hour. We beat it with 17:44 left.
Oh, damn.
So we kind of crushed it.
Yeah.
But the people in my group had done like 4 separate ones before, so they at least had kind of a baseline understanding of how you get your clues.
Are they really like lit rooms? Are they dark and dingy? Like.
The first room was dark as shit until you had to do something to, like, you click the light bulb on the avatar thing on the computer and the light actually comes on.
That's
And you're
cool.
like, oh, well, that helps because you couldn't do shit. there was one part at the end where the computer does like a sound check, and we did that earlier on, and it's like everyone be quiet so the sound can calibrate its the audio, whatever
I feel like
configuration.
they should turn like this into like a horror. Like
Well, they have a zombie
that'd
escape
be
room.
fucking crazy. That would be
They
scary.
have all
as
different
shit.
ones, and they're all different
I would
themed.
crap my pants.
Yeah.
But I would do it.
Yeah.
It would be fun.
But this one, they're
How'd
doing.
you even find it? I mean, was this something you just looked up?
Well,
Or you just somebody word of mouth?
Katie had done a bunch with Max. As like Max, Gabe,
Max Boyer?
yeah, Boyer, Gabe, Gary,
Okay.
and they all.
And you heard it through them, word of mouth.
Yeah, I just bumped into Katie one day when I was like at Muse, and she was going to open up the bar, and I'm like, oh hey, what's up? And she goes, oh yeah, we're going to escape room on Saturday. Do you want to go? We have an opening because I think you can only do a max of some amount of people. And
Okay.
I'm like, you know what? Since I've turned 30 a couple months ago, that's why I'm doing Burning Man. I'm like, I'm pretty much. I'm not saying
I've
yes
always
to
wanted to
everything.
go to Burning Man. Is
Yeah.
it pricier than like other like Coachella and like other things like that? I mean, I know the travel obviously, but
Yeah.
that's part of like what everybody has to do
Sure.
to go there. Kind of
So
thing, but
I'm the worst person to ask because not only is this my first time going to Burning Man, this is my first like festival ever. So it's just like Tyler. Just
So
tell
I
me.
know a girl who's a ranger at Burning Man.
Okay,
So if you want to talk to her, she's really fucking cool.
Yeah, they broke all that stuff down today too at that meeting. They were like, "Hey, these are cops. These are these people. The rangers are the
I
intermediaries
didn't know
between
what
you and the cops."
ranger was.
It's
I
pretty
guess
much a
should
person-
we explain it for people who've never been to Burning Man?
Yeah, sure. Apparently at Burning Man, there's cops undercover, just trying to,
Yeah.
occasionally fuck your day up and make sure you're not serving people that aren't 21 or whatever.
Yeah, doing crazy shit.
Or it'll be like a girl that is like 20 and seems like a complete burner. So they call people that go to Burning Man a lot. And she's like, oh, can I get some drugs? And then you're like, oh, yeah, I happen to have like an extra ecstasy pill. I'm being a nice, awesome dude at Burning
Put
Man.
your hands behind your back.
Exactly that. But there's people called rangers that actually
Yeah.
work for Burning Man.
They're
and
like- they're
conflict
cops.
resolutionists. Exactly.
Yeah, conflict resolutionist. I like that.
Yeah,
That's
so
a
so
good way of putting it.
They were saying there, like, if the cops are kind of on you, or like sometimes if you're driving, they can be weird, like taking you back to your camp. They're saying this. They have. I only know this term because of Dark Knight, the RICO case. So if you search someone's tent and someone lets you search your tent, like you let a cop search your tent, then they're able to search everyone in your camp's tent. So you're never supposed to let a cop know who you're with. So if someone's like, oh, hey, you just did drugs, great, where's your camp? Because now they have probable cause to search the entire camp. So you're like, okay, I'll take you to the camp. And then what the guy said at our meeting was like, take them to the trash pits. That's like where all the trash gets dumped. And the cop will be like, oh, they're not going to tell me where the fuck they're camping because they're not fucking rats. Or just take them to the headquarters of the Rangers and be like, oh yeah, this is my home. I view this place as home. And then the Rangers will be like, all right, copper, like, what's the deal? And they'll kind of like take care of you and be like, stop trying to entrap this fucking guy.
Wow.
So there's a whole.
So what classifies as entrapment? Because I know they can pose as anybody and not say what they are. I mean, do you know? Because I don't. I always thought I never knew if that was a rumor. If you'd be like, "Are you a cop?"
Yeah.
And the guy's like has to tell you kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's all bullshit. Apparently,
it is.
It's
Someone even said that.
I mean, really, it's I should have known better, but
Yeah.
I actually thought it was true at some point.
Yeah, you
And I
see
was
it in the
like,
movie
you know,
once and you think it's
Yeah,
how it is.
yeah.
No, someone asked at the meeting, go, hey, so if I ask them if they're a cop, do they get to tell me? And the person's like, no, that shit doesn't work at all, like you're
Nope.
saying right now. Yeah, I
So
don't
then,
know.
what classifies
I don't know.
entrapment?
And I've seen the movie Entrapment like 600 times, so the fact they don't even know what the phrase means makes me an asshole. Yeah, it's a great.
No, you're fine.
It's a great movie.
I think there's a lot of movies I haven't seen, so
Right, but I know what a RoboCop is.
yeah.
I just
you
don't,
know what?
But I don't know what a Transformer is, but I don't know what Entrapment is.
I guess yeah.
Uh-huh.
You saw the movie 600 times?
I probably no, honestly, because it used to be on HBO and I had it on VHS. Any movie that was on on HBO growing up, I would just watch a billion times. Because back in the day, there was like 3 HBO channels. You had HBO 1, 2, and 3. No digital cable, no
I remember
info,
that,
no
yeah.
nothing.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, it's going to be at least a movie without commercials on this channel, so that would be pretty much this was kind of even before ESPN was even SportsCenter was an hour long. SportsCenter was like a half hour long.
You know what
Different time.
you know what I was thinking about? I was thinking about like old technologies the other day. Like, do you remember fucking like phone message recorders? Like, you would actually have to have like a tape recorder that would get your missed phone calls.
Yeah.
And you'd have to play it back.
Sure,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you remember that, but I feel like if I talk to somebody
For the
who
record,
was-
we're like 3 years apart.
Yeah.
For the record.
I know, yeah.
You're
but
not that much
still.
younger than me. Yeah.
But I'm saying kids who are 5 years younger than me.
yeah.
Because I feel like I'm still young. I
Yeah.
feel like I'm still really young.
You look great.
5 years, I know I do.
Yeah.
5 years before that, though, they don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. Like, they have no idea. This kid who's one of my training partners, a really cool guy, but I just found out his birthday's in '98. He was born in 98.
That's
And I thought he
weird.
was my age. And, like, to me, that's 8 years. That's not a huge difference. He looks like he could pass off being as old as I am.
Yeah.
And it just blew my mind because 98 to me it just sounds so young. It's like, dude, you don't even remember when the millennium happened. Like, you were 2 years old when the millennium passed.
Sure. Yeah.
Like,
I don't know anything about Y2K.
yeah.
Bullshit.
Like, I was young, but I was still old enough to realize that the year 2000 is happening, and this is the second time that it's flipped over like that.
Right.
And that, like, in my brain, I'm like, wow, this is crazy. I
Right.
can't believe I'm going to remember this kind of shit. But still, like, so much, like, in the past 30 years has changed as far as, like, technology that, like, I feel like it's going to get to the point where, like, kids are going to forget what technology is 2 years ago, like, based on, like,
How
when
quick
they're
it
growing
changes.
up and shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
technology's going to just die off at a faster rate and get replaced by new things, like, constantly.
Sure.
And I'm sure certain ones will stick around. Like, Apple's done a retarded job of keeping their brand alive, and not just alive, but, like, probably the number one in a huge majority of our country.
Right.
As far as, like, a lot of technology goes, computers and shit like that. But
With quality, I wouldn't
Yeah,
say with like.
yeah.
It's still the most expensive, which is
Yeah.
why they don't have viruses nearly
Yeah.
as much as PCs and
yeah,
whatever.
mostly because I hear, like, it's all, like, they have a lot more to say about what gets built into one solid machine as
Right.
opposed to Windows, where it's an open system.
Exactly,
People can
right,
do
right.
whatever they want. But I don't know, man. It's crazy. I feel like it's going so fast. Like, I still remember wanting a Razr phone and, like, stuff like that.
Well,
and
flip,
I don't.
bro.
I know. Remember
coolest.
the
Yeah.
flip phones?
Uh-huh.
I still think those look cool. Like, those were the coolest looking. Like, you pull it out, you're like straight up business guy.
How do you feel about the one that
Like-
flips versus the one that like Neo had in the Matrix where like it like slid out?
They like,
Yeah.
Nah, that one was too. That
bullshit.
was a little too old.
I'm with you on that. Actually.
Yeah, it was a little too retro.
The thing that I think about a lot is because back like 30 or 40 years ago, there was 3 TV channels, you know? So everyone
Yeah.
knew everything. Everyone had
Yeah.
the same collective entertainment pool.
Yeah.
And then as more and more channels, now internet, like, I could watch 15 YouTube channels that are so catered to my tastes,
Yep.
that are so specific to exactly what I love, that it's not even on TV. You would never even know, you would have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about, like Vsauce on YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know what that is.
Nope, never.
It's so
heard
cool.
of
They
it.
break down, like, for example, one question is, what color is a mirror? And you're like, what? Yeah, I don't know what that means. And then there's a 15-minute, like, video breaking down what color a mirror
If it's
is.
glass, it's green.
Yes. Okay, great. But again, I can't talk about that episode of television with maybe even my best friend that's my same age, let alone my brother that's 5 years younger than me, because now there's so much
Do you
splintered
think now? Do you
channels.
think that's making people explore things they're possible? Like, do you think more people are having hobbies and finding things that they're into because of the amount of entertainment resources that they can get tailored specifically to them?
100%. So what I think is, like,
You think that people are becoming more interesting, quote unquote, like on like a everyday kind of level?
I do, because let's say before you only had those 3 TV options, or even whatever, 100 TV options. If Friends is on at 8 o'clock, you might like Friends a 6 out of 10, or someone likes it a 10 out of 10, but you're still going to watch it. You can still make jokes about it because everyone's watching Friends. But now, you can get into the nitty gritty of, you know, how to, like, kill someone, kill an animal with an archery bow, and then clean it up, and then pack it up, and bring it back, and you're like, holy shit, I can now hunt
You
my
spend a
meat.
whole day watching just videos on that on YouTube.
Exactly, and then what that allows you to do, especially with the internet making connectivity so much easier, then your best friends can be people that have the same interests that live in Taiwan or wherever.
How much money do you think YouTube makes?
I don't know how they obviously make a fuck ton of money because they have ads.
I'm assuming most of it's all ad revenue, and I think that's where, because I feel like they were big because of the idea that they were before, when it was started privately.
Sure.
But they exploded when Google bought them. When Google bought them, that was, and it pissed a lot of people off because that was when the commercials just rained in.
Sure.
Every video you were freaking
Ad
watching
blocker.
had
Ad
yeah,
blocker.
and
Ad blocker.
and then eventually, I mean, but even those, like, a lot of those get, like, processed out as new software comes out and
Sure,
stuff like
yeah.
that. And you either have to update, or somebody has to make a new counter software
Uh-huh.
to deal with that. And it's just like this ongoing chase kind of. I just gave up. I just don't care anymore.
Right.
But I don't know. It's YouTube makes. I feel like that's the newest idea in television, or like video entertainment that anybody's ever had, because it puts production into anyone's hands. Anybody that has a camera has basically a TV station.
Well, yeah, exactly. For distribution, you can still do that even before,
you
DSLR.
could, but I mean, now you have free
you can get it out there immediately. You don't have to have your own website.
The entire world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The thing is, I just don't know how people are being compensated for their.
No, I actually know somebody who makes money off of YouTube.
So do you know how it's broken down?
He kind of told me the way it works for him. But and when he told me, it blew my mind, because he made it sound so easy, but he's a really confident, kind of swabby guy.
A liar.
He, no, he was family. He was my ex's, uncle through marriage. But, dude, this guy is it's probably like mid-40s now. He would hang out with me and my friends and play Street Fighter all day. He was badass. This guy was cool as fuck. He was 20 years older than us, but he was that cool guy. You know, he was a guy that never really grew up, but he was responsible, had a fucking family, good job, this and that. And fuck, where was I going with that?
This kid, how he monetizes YouTube.
Oh yeah. So he's also got really into fitness. He was super scrawny when he was little. Bulked up, got really into exercising, and when YouTube kind of was first starting out, he started a YouTube channel about fitness and nutrition. Got really hardcore into that shit as a hobby. Showing people simple workouts, showing people simple meals, 10-minute meals to make. Nothing he literally had a mini DV recorder, on a fucking Walmart tripod. No audio post-production really. Just cut,
right.
Yeah. And he was making $400 a month off ad revenue.
But do you know what?
Based off views, because once you cap a certain number of views on a consistent basis, I think the way that YouTube does it, they have an algorithm that I believe measures you get an average of this many views per day, kind of thing, based on time. So
on
it's
your channel or on a specific video?
Both.
Okay.
Both. It's all monitored basically. And once you hit, they're holy shit, this guy got 10,000 views in a month, as opposed to a year. Then they're this guy's gonna keep people keep watching his videos, and he has a lot of views for how little amount of time his videos are being posted. Because of that, they recognize, okay, if there's a lot of eyes on this is a good place to put commercials in. So once you hit a certain number, I think he said he hit he was hitting 500 views or 500 likes on every video he was posting or some shit like that. He got an email.
You mean thumbs up or whatever?
Yeah, something like that. Something like that. Or no, it's actually just views, because views and thumbs up are different on YouTube, I believe. And it was just based on views. So he would get it was 500 or 1,000 views per video, so many videos after a while. He got an email from YouTube, and they asked him if he basically wanted to do a simple it's it's an automated almost
based
offer.
off where you are and you knew
hey, would you like us to put ads on your videos, and we'll give you a percentage of how many pay-per-clicks. A lot of that, I believe, is that's how. I don't know if they give you the option on Facebook, because I was going to advertise on Facebook and you have options on how you want to do it, but I believe YouTube is pay-per-click, which means that the ad pops up, you click on the ad, you just collected a percentage for that person clicking on that ad and visiting that website, even if they just click the ad and close the ad.
What if they don't? What if you have a ton of ads on your videos and no one ever clicks? Because all I click is skip in 5 seconds. I've never clicked an ad ever. I still
believe that you get percentages, and there's different contracts, I believe, because certain ads obviously you can't skip. Some of them are 15 seconds long. Some of them are a minute long.
Some are 2.5 minute trailers.
Yeah, and you can't skip them. You know what I mean? So
the trailers you normally skip, but some 15-second ones you definitely can't.
So there's different variations of all of that, and I believe that's all separate contract kind of thing based on legally they have if it's this situation we use this, if it's this situation we do this.
And I'm sure too different people can have different contracts. If Universal Studios wants to put their trailers online officially, it's going to be a different breakdown than Fuckface McGee saying how we're take a picture of how to
in the long run
chop zucchini.
This guy was making an extra $200 to $400 based off. He told me there were times where he wouldn't put a video out for a month, and his old videos would just be collecting views, and he would be getting a paycheck at the end of the month from YouTube.
That's the sickest shit about just the internet in general. Is like, it's not like if you miss it at 8 o'clock on Thursday, you gotta wait for repeats or you gotta go to your DVR. It's just there forever.
Yeah, it just sits there. I
Sure.
mean, it's like
watch it whenever.
It's an open
Watch
cloud.
it taking a shit.
It's a fucking open cloud.
Right.
I mean, how much do you think they paid for their fucking database? Like their cloud?
I don't know. I mean, if it's owned by Google, I know Google, I think it's in Utah somewhere. They're just digging up, like, they're building servers underground.
Yeah, to probably put, like, hard drives and shit.
Yeah, the space.
I mean, like, the
4K
actual...
and, yeah.
I mean, I feel like if anybody's going to invest in, like, condensing hard drive space, it's going to be, like, they're going to be the investors. Because it's costing them so much to build buildings to literally store memory in digital memory, as opposed to, like, paying some people in China to do research on how to make a terabyte this from, like, a cartridge this big to, like, a chip this big.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
I mean, that's what I would be doing. I'd be like, why the fuck am I going to build all these goddamn and dig all these fucking...
When you could just shrink it?
When I can just pay somebody to invent the technology to make it smaller.
I mean, you'll probably...
You know what I mean?
I'd assume that you would have to do both, but then I say that, but then I think about
it's like, I feel like it'd be like a race. Like, it would be like a catch-up. Like, I'm going to try to push this because that's what's going to be beneficial in the long run, but I have to do this for now.
Yeah, exactly. And it'll be a stasis, then it'll go downward. Like, think about, like, newspapers. Think about on a single flash drive how many PDF versions of newspapers that would be able to fill the show.
Yeah.
You wouldn't need any of the space. You need this fucking thing the size of a stick of gum.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, like, that's, like, I don't know, that's where I would be investing. It's, like, digital memory and storage is ridiculous. And it has been happening. Like, my first hard drive, my first terabyte I bought was about the size of a brick. Like, literally about the size of a brick. Has a fan inside of it.
Cost a couple $100.
It was a couple $100. It had a fucking... You had to have it plugged... It had a separate power source. Like a separate AC source. I had two of them.
Yeah, you couldn't plug it right into USB.
No, it wasn't self-powered through the computer.
Right.
Now, my 2 terabyte is like a quarter of the size.
And it's powered by the computer?
Fits in my pocket, and it's powered by the computer.
Oh, pretty dope.
And my computer is like the lowest energy running computer like of all time. Like, I think they said that it costs like the actual computer. I think they ran a test. This number's completely out of my ass, but I'm
excited to hear it.
It was like, I think the cost of leaving the new Mac Mini on for an entire year, electricity wise, I think was like less than like $10.
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah. Like all year completely. It has like it's
cuts to some kid in China, like in a coal mine, like
for like some way that it's engineered just makes it insanely energy efficient. Like the most energy efficient computer that they've invented so far that I know of that's on the consumer basis.
Right.
So I was like, oh, that's crazy. I was gonna ask you something. I fucking forgot about what we were talking about right before that. Do you need another beer?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Let me see actually where we're at on the marking because I can't tell how long.
Let me guess.
Take a guess.
17:58.
Nope. 23.
Oh, Samsonite.
23 minutes. Cheers. I got one more drink in there. Oh man, these things go by fast.
What, the Mickeys or just talking?
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, every time, like, someone on the Rogan podcast is just talking and they're, okay, one more of these?
Oh, yeah.
And they're just, like, 3 hours went by, it felt like 10 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, it's such easy, casual conversation.
Right.
I don't know.
And you're only talking about shit that ideally you're interested in.
Oh, yeah, and that's what I want to do the podcast with you for, because I feel like you're my only really good MMA friend,
and kind of know about fighting, and you're in the same kind of comedy scene that I'm into. We have similar hobbies, and we both talk a lot.
Right.
So I was like, why not? This would be awesome. You're a screenwriter, by the way. People who don't know, Keith is a screenwriter.
Yeah, getting in that business.
Trying to get him into acting, the porn industry.
Well, yeah, I mean, you gotta sow your oats somewhere.
Stocky,
cut your teeth.
Stocky ginger Viking man.
I gotta research that market. Maybe there's like a whole niche that I'm just neglecting. I love jerking off, but none of them have red hair.
They don't have red hair.
And I can tell when it's dyed, and I can still come, but like my chub's 75 to 82%.
It's not the same.
Not the same.
It's just not the same. So what's going on as far as like UFC wise? Because you're always more updated than I am. UFC 202.
That's Saturday.
UFC 202. Are we doing it at your house?
Yes.
Right.
I right before I came over here, I didn't read the article. I saw the headline. It said John Jones is talking to like the athletic commission and his returns like looking like it's gonna happen really. It said really soon. I don't know what
this is
really
all
soon means.
media bullshit. You think like John like stubbed his toe and didn't want to fight, and like faked a drug? He like drank something intentionally.
I mean, if he was like the way that he was crying,
what if
like,
it was all staged?
Then he should get into acting for real. For real. Because if he was able to just do that on the spot, like cry like that, he's the best.
Okay.
Like he's the goat of act. He's better actor than he is fighter, and he's to me still the best
There's some
fighter.
good combinations. I mean, there's some good actor/fighters. I think Chael's a great one. Chael could go into acting.
What, I don't know though. What have you seen him act in anything?
No.
He's great on TV. But like,
does he actually act and stuff?
I don't know. Not that I've seen him. And he might have been in, like
but
never
I think
never.
He could be
back
like,
down 12.
He could be like the asshole redneck guy who gets in a fight in a bar.
He could
with
be
some guy in a movie.
But based on what you're saying, then you'd be saying that anyone that does like commentary or just on TV could be an actor, and I wouldn't say that that's true.
No, because I think that like I don't know who the fuck they are, but a lot of times they'll bring fighters onto like the after fight shows and
They'll
stuff
be
like
dog
that,
shit.
and they're just dog shit. Yeah.
Who, like, I think because I don't know. I feel like a lot of
But
these
they
are
do it
pretty
just
good.
because, like, honestly, Nate and Nick are like before, like, they're awesome, but they're awesome because at first, because they kind of like, not to hate on them because I actually like them, but I didn't like them at first. At first, I thought they remind me of all the fucking assholes that I grew up with in that tiny little cholo town.
Sure.
And it was just like, oh, these fucking guys. Yeah, I know exactly what they're like. But then, like, after, you know what really turned it around is whenever Nate fought Anderson.
Nick
Or Nick, I'm sorry, Nick.
when he took a nap in the middle of the fight.
but not even, I knew he, like, not even, he does that because that's part of his fighting style.
Sure,
they
yeah.
both do. But
That was even a first for him, though.
that was the first time I'd ever seen either of the Diaz brothers give that much respect to an
the
opponent
opponent?
before fighting.
Before the fight.
Before the fight. He was saying some good shit, giving him respect. Even after the fight, he had a lot of, like, that was, like, he respected him as a fighter, and that kind of made me have more respect for them. And then, whenever all the shit happened with Connor and Nate, just seeing the way Nate just didn't give a fuck about any of it, like, he never cared about any of the press conferences. He was almost, it's funny because, like, Connor loses, he makes a big deal about press conferences. Nate's never liked press conferences and always said fuck this, fuck that, this or that.
Yeah.
He just never pulled in the numbers. So fucking, like, the UFC would always get pissed off at him. They got pissed off at Connor when he did the same thing, but it's a lot more of a slap on the wrist versus a fuck you, Diaz.
Well, I feel like
I think.
Nick's always been kind of shittier on camera, or at least more awkward.
Definitely. He hates it.
And he got pulled from the GSP fight a while ago because of that. That's when the GSP ended up fighting Condit because he didn't go to the media obligation. They said, well, we're not going to deal with this shit for the next month. Like, fuck you, you're off. And they put in Condit, and then Diaz got the fight later. I think Nate's more comfortable on camera. The reason why I've been like a Nick Diaz fan since I've been watching MMA in general is because he's a fighter, and I don't fight, so there could be other reasons for what I'm about to say doesn't happen, why it doesn't actually happen, but there's so many times I see fighters up against the cage or on the ground where I'm like, why doesn't that fighter need that dude in his ribs, or why doesn't he, when they're sitting up against the cage, need him in his thigh? Like, I understand it's not going to be a kill shot, but you work so hard to get, you know, a leg
So
kick
that
on someone's
position,
thigh.
yeah.
When you land one of those every 25 seconds,
I think
you're doing great.
a lot of it has to do with the fact that, like, a lot of those brutal moves you don't practice a lot in training because you're training with your partners kind of thing.
And you don't want to fuck them
and
up.
you don't want to fuck them up.
Sure.
Like, those are moves that are hard to practice without really fucking somebody up, unless, like, you have the proper padding and tech and, like, training kind of thing. Like, okay, if I have the right kind of, like, stomach belt, then I'll have my friend get down on his, like, and I'll mount him and I'll fucking start kneeing him in the stomach, trying to get that whole scenario down. But in a lot of times, it's hard to practice that.
But as a fighter, you're
gets
aware of opportunities.
Yeah,
I would think, right?
You
So
would think, but the heat of the moment can be a bitch.
for sure. Again, I
I mean,
don't fight,
like,
so I can't
definitely.
talk on it.
Yeah.
Like I know more than
If you
2%
can
about
stay
it.
clear-headed when those opportunities arise,
Yeah.
definitely. But I think the number one things that fighters regret, and a lot of them say they don't regret shit, they're being fucking tough guys, this and that. And everybody's different, but if I ever have a fight or when I watch my videos after practice, I'm watching myself because I know that I'm doing things that I don't think I'm doing. I'm making mistakes and missing opportunity. whenever I should be doing something and it didn't occur to me in that moment. But after the fact, it's almost like whenever you're talking to somebody or somebody's fucking talking shit to you at a bar, and you're like later you're in your car and like, fuck, I should have said this and that and that and that. You know, but when you were there, it just didn't come out. Same thing with fighting. It's kind of like you know what you should have done when you're watching it after the fact or when you're sitting somewhere comfortably.
Or there could be things
You know
that you're
what I mean?
seeing like two-dimensionally on the screen where you're like, I should have
Yeah.
been doing that, but actually in the moment you were thinking, if I do this, he'll spin me.
Maybe he faked me out with his eyes. Because
Right,
I mean, you know, I could have
right.
looked at his face and his face told me he was going to do something that I wasn't expecting, so I thought something else. But then when you're watching on the camera, you just see
don't
two
see it.
guys standing.
Sure.
You know what I mean? There's little things like that.
So you
that
weren't
happen all the
super aware
time.
after the fact of why you were doing it, but you knew why in the moment
Yeah.
because you're picking up on all the subtle tells.
All the subtleties.
But
all
the
those
point that I was
little
getting at
things,
though with Nick was that he was one of the first fighters that I was watching where he did all the stuff that I would wonder why
Yeah.
other fighters weren't doing. So when he had you up against the cage,
He's
he's
a
like,
very experienced fighter.
oh, I can knee you in your thigh here. He wouldn't just knee you in the thigh. He would knee you in the thigh as many times as he could until you either did anything
It's
besides
also
standing
exhausting too.
there to do it.
To do
But his
stuff.
cardio is
I mean,
fucking ridiculous, so he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of guys. I mean, dude, knees are heavy things to throw around.
But
It's
I
a
mean,
big
doesn't
part
getting
of-
hit with infinite knees that close wear on you?
If you think it's gonna win it, it's worth it. If you're doubting yourself, you're probably not gonna do it because you're not gonna. You know, when you're in a fight and you're tired, and doubt starts to settle in, because it does for everybody. You start to doubt certain things. You're like, holy shit, I gotta pull back right now. I still got 4 minutes on the fucking clock, and I'm tired. You know, I'm this tired, and it's only been 1 minute. And it's around 3. Like, holy shit, this guy's still coming at me.
What better way to slow him down than with knees to the
but
thigh?
It can, but I'm just saying, if it doesn't pan out, dude, it's like Chael said, like, you gotta, it's risk for reward. It's, he didn't say that, but he was saying, that, like, the analogy where, like,
if you go for a knockout and don't get it, you'll lose by
and
decision.
you don't get it, you're gonna lose by decision or get knocked out. You're gonna get knocked out if your attempt doesn't happen.
No grip.
I got a lighter.
Nice.
I think we might be at the end of our 30 minutes here.
Can
Let me
we
check.
back if you want to.
Yeah, no, definitely. Oh, it's been.
Wow.
Alright, sorry about that, everybody. Not exactly sure when that last video cut out.
Okay.
Oh.
Delightful. Oh, sorry.
No, you're all good.
I overestimated the friction.
Actually, hold on. Alright, cool. Like, when we were talking about, like, technology moving faster and you thinking... And because I kind of... I was thinking about this and I wasn't really sure. If people have more hobbies and are more creative and more intuitive now that they can see other people doing crazy shit on a daily basis on social media, like just blowing your mind on a daily basis what people are capable of. Do you think that I mean, I was wondering, did that always exist? And we just didn't see it because we didn't have a form of media to see it through.
Can you define
nationwide?
what do you mean? Like, did that?
Like,
what's that?
Was like, I mean, were people like, I saw a video of a chick riding a bicycle, like standing on it and doing flips on the bike and controlling the bike like it was a skateboard, like like just weird shit like that. Has that always been going on and we just didn't have Facebook and Instagram and YouTube to watch people around the world doing this crazy shit? Like, do you think the numbers have grown? Or do you think that stuff was always going on, now we just have iPhones to record everything?
So I think people have always been pushing the envelope. But I think what makes someone push the envelope is seeing someone do something that they didn't think was possible.
That's
or
inspiring.
And now the thing is, maybe when you were a kid, you only thought about doing the trapeze because your parents took you to Ringling Brothers Circus, and then like 30 years later you have Cirque du Soleil, right? But if you didn't have the means to go to the circus when you were a kid, you would never even have the fucking mentality to be
I
like,
could
I
see
want to
that.
do this, but then exponentially. Now with the internet, you don't need to buy a ticket. You can just see this stuff, and you can see like the cream of the cream of the cream, and then in your head you say, "Hey, I want to now jump off this peak of this mountain, not just this version of the circus or this version of that might be an 8 out of 10." Now on a daily basis on your Instagram feed, you can just see the top 1% trick shot 15 of those every day.
Yep.
So now you might be able to do something amazing that you thought was amazing 6 months ago. It's fucking bullshit now. You're like, who cares? Someone did this times a million. So now if you want to get famous or you want to really
the
test your
bar's
nut-
always higher, basically.
bar's so much higher because
In
now you
everything.
can see the top of the bar every time, whereas
Yep.
before you might not have been able to see
But
it.
do you think the numbers have increased as far as like the level of people doing shit like that? Like anything,
Yes,
anything. Do
because-
you think the numbers have gone up now that people can see the competition and
Yeah, I'd
see
say
what the bar is?
I'd say definitely because what you just said, more people can see the competition. But two, now there's a way easier venue and avenue for you to get gratification for doing that,
Yeah.
and I can post
How
it
many
and people
fucking
can see it.
people have become famous off of social
Right.
media?
I mean,
How many?
just-
I mean, like, it's the new way to become, like, it's almost like the everyday person's way to become a celebrity. It's
Which
like,
is upsetting sometimes when you see
It
like
can be.
awesome comedians that just
who are working it
and they're
hard.
hilarious,
Just going,
and they're just
like, taking
grinding.
Yeah.
And you have
Taking shit from
Kardashian and
everybody,
whatever
yeah.
that don't seem to be creating anything.
But they
besides,
weren't really social media stars to begin with. They were born into being celebrities and then became fucking mega celebrities with a reality show.
But right, but can you explain
But
why?
I'm talking about the girls that take pictures of their asses on Instagram and get 500,000 followers and become like legitimate models and make a living doing nothing based off how much advertisement they create for
Yeah, but-
Instagram's a weird one because Instagram I don't understand. YouTube I understand. There's commercials,
Yeah.
there's advertisement.
Yeah.
But people make livings. They make a living being an Instagram
Well,
model.
I can explain that one to you.
I don't. Where does the money come
Okay,
from?
so how that one works is a little bit sneaky. They'll place shit in their posts.
They'll play shit.
Place stuff.
Oh, like placement.
So, like,
product.
so right
placement.
now, like you may not know this. If I have 2 million, Instagram followers, and
product placement.
and
So
Stella hits me up. Not Heineken, only Stella. And Stella hits me up, like, hey, like want to place this in there? Like, would you mind drinking a beer like once a month on your shit? We'll pay you $400K a year for you to do that.
Wow.
And then I'm just like, oh, just having a beer. Just happen to pick my favorite Stella. But you don't even have to do that. You just have it there, like it's right now. Capcom sponsors us because we have a fucking Street
How
Fighter little
subliminal
console right here. That's the
is
whole
that?
idea. They're trying to say the best way that you can. Schmize.
Sorry, Joe Rogan podcast.
I don't even know
We're
that
watching
was.
right before.
So wait, this is hooked up to that?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
This is what I used to play Street Fighter. When
Oh,
I used
wow.
I used to play competitively. And
Well, I
this
don't know that it
is-
would make anything happen if it wasn't Street Fighter related. But anyway,
No, yeah, it's a controller. It's totally just a controller that's been wired differently.
got it. Very cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's how they do it on Instagram a lot of the time. Yeah.
That blows my mind.
Because I remember I heard something. Like,
How does that pan out? Because on YouTube you get a fucking direct advertisement. It's a direct ad. That's you. There's no questions about it. It's a commercial you're
right.
watching,
But so think about it this way. So what's
and they pay kind. I mean, in comparison,
Yeah.
like I don't know what the real numbers are on Instagram. I'm sure like certain people get a lot, some people get bullshit, but. I mean, based off what you told me, it sounds like it's a bigger risk for the company to have something that's just product placement that's not obvious, as opposed to a direct commercial and pay more. I would assume it'd be way less.
Well, look at it backwards, right? The ultimate goal is to sell something. So they think the more eyeballs on that, the better
And
chance.
they want it
of
to
the
be
percentage.
casual kind of
Okay.
thing.
And they know the kids nowadays, they're
Follow what
very
they like.
well that, but they're also very keen to being like, oh, you're trying to sell me some shit. Fuck you. I'm not buying what you're selling, guy. Just for the fact that you're trying to sell them, like just. But
It's
human
true.
nature, fuck you.
It's true.
So if you're following, I don't know,
I
some
do it
guy
all
who
the
thinks you don't
time.
even know.
Fuck this ad.
Boom, right? Now, if you're, let's say you're some girl that follows some hot chick, and she is like, so she's in shape, and you think she's awesome, and she's one of like your role models, and she's wearing these cute underwear, right? Oh damn! Like if I
That's
work out like that, I can
somebody's
wear,
underwear.
yeah. Like what the fuck is that? And what you can start doing
You
is
see, what I don't get
pegging
though,
the products.
guys don't give a fuck about that.
They don't.
But they're the ones that are looking at that.
But maybe they have a girlfriend and they want to buy her something that's going to make his dick hard. So like, oh, the panties from that girl. Now when I'm looking at you from behind, I can now in my head look at your
And
ass
it's
and
like
think of her.
probably a hashtag
Get
or
my
something.
dick hard.
Like what panties are those? And then you look at the hashtags and the
Yeah, or
comment
like
or
at
something.
Victoria's Secret or
Yeah.
whatever the fuck.
You know what's funny is that I didn't realize how powerful hashtag. I should have because I went to school and learned keywording and fucking.
That's all
that
it is, yeah.
bullshit. It's basically It's keywording without. It's showing your keywords.
Right.
It's basically before you would hashtag in metadata, which is basically metadata is just a hidden file
Right.
that's attached to a digital file
Right.
that has all the information behind the file.
Sure.
You could fuck with certain parts of that, and part of that you could put keywords, and hashtags are just keywords that people can read on comment threads.
But I think even the core thing though is the community of it. If I click a hashtag like hashtag Miracle Mile, I can see what's going on in Miracle Mile. So it's not even
Definitely.
always a hashtag of like or a keyword of trying to sell you something or promote this upwards. Then it allows you to actively search something
But
out.
I mean, like a keyword or a hashtag in its general basis is just trying to lump up a group of something, and
Sure.
like I'm trying to look for something. I'm trying to look for something, or I want somebody to see this. What are groups that this video I made would fall under? If
Right.
people wanted to see something like this, what would they search? They would put in. If it was me doing some rolling jujitsu, I'd put in jujitsu, or I'd put in like rolling.
Kimura the deer.
Kimura the deer.
Yeah.
And if they type that in, then it would pop up. So like I get it. It's a way to it's part of SEO, search engine optimization. You're trying to help people connect what they want to find with the content.
Sure.
Or the person who's producing the content is actually trying to figure out what the person is going to type in so that they can get access to their content.
Yeah, like in October, if you make a post about a scary movie review and you put in horror film or, Halloween, and you click it and go, oh, I can look at this review for Purge 12.
But you know what's weird is that I've been experimenting with, like, every now and then, because I've been getting not a lot more, but I've definitely gotten a better steady following, and my numbers have been going up on Instagram since I've been doing different things. Definitely keywording everything now. Well, I call it keywording, but it's hashtags. Yeah. So like I've been hashtagging a lot more and doing that type of thing. But I love how Instagram recommends hashtags.
Yes.
Because that, I think, is just like direct, like, hey, you should use this because 13 million people fucking type this in.
And they're all kind of orbiting what you're already talking about. Or
yeah.
the planets that you're orbiting in order to know that a planet
And every
exists.
now and then I'll try to incorporate, like, I basically came up with, ever since I've been doing a lot of the fight pictures and stuff like that,
Yeah.
I came up with, like, my favorite, like, 15 or 20 that I feel like are the most common, that get viewed, most generic, but still apply to what I'm putting out. And then I'll throw in a couple that are my specific that are like almost like slogans for me.
Cool.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
sure.
Like almost like you know what I mean? A way to advertise I don't know, like no excuses, now or never type of shit.
Sure.
Because I want to have my first fight, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
That whole deal. And ever since I've been doing that, I've been getting way more people following. Not way more people following me, but like instead of somebody following me in Utah that has like 40 fucking friends or some shit like that, I've been getting people on a daily basis that have like 20, 30, 40, 50,000 followers liking my shit. And part of it I think has to do with who I'm shooting and what I'm shooting.
Right.
But a lot of it I think has to do with the way that I've been hashtagging it so that they can find who I'm shooting, what I'm doing.
And that goes
kinda
back
thing.
to the advertisement. It's a
Yeah.
volume play, so it's like
Yeah.
you look at your Instagram as a product. It doesn't really cost anything. 'Cause it costs your finger doing this, and maybe the ratio of how many followers you have to who you're
You know what's
following.
funny though, man? Like I'm at the bar and like social. Like I feel like I'm working a lot of times when other people don't assume I'm working because I'm doing what they normally do, but I'm doing it for completely different reasons.
Like comedians do that all the time. They're out and about having a conversation to get just input that they can talk about later
or something.
Right.
You know, a lot of times whenever I'm at Little Bar or by the way, Little Bar is the best bar in the world.
Sure.
Cheers to Little Bar.
Nathan La Brea.
Fuck, what was I saying?
You're saying that you're working when other people don't think you're working.
Oh, like most of the time I'm on my phone, I'm working. I'm working 70% of the time that I'm on my phone. I'm either talking to somebody about something that's going to happen business related, or I'm managing my social media. I'm posting something, tagging something, thinking of what I need to say, how I need to word it, what do I need to follow up on, what do I need to keep. that I need to have this steady stream kind of thing. Every time, but I mean, everybody's on their goddamn phones all the time. You can't tell when
but
people.
it's empty calories. Like,
Yeah.
I'm just flipping because every
Yeah.
8 seconds there's gonna be 4 new Instagram posts.
Exactly,
It's a girl's
but
ass or
I'm the content
Stella
side.
ad.
I am the content side. So like,
Sure.
I'm producing material for those people, but I have to operate in the same type of way. So when people tell me like, when I tell people that I work 40 hours a week at my day job and then work an additional 20 hours a week on my personal job,
Yeah.
it's true.
Right,
I'm on my
right,
phone,
right.
but I'm working. Like I'm doing meetings over text messages. I'm doing all this other shit
Sure.
to set up other things that are going to happen in the future. And then like, okay, this weekend I have a photo shoot on Sunday, then I have to go meet this person on Tuesday and blah blah blah. All this shit. And it's funny. Like it's funny the way that like looking at your phone, you can either be, or being a part of social media, you can be somebody that participates or somebody that follows.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? You can be part of the audience or you can be part of the stage and the production.
But that's also networking in general. Like the short that me and Nick shot a couple, like 2 months ago, whatever. It's because I met Nick at Little Bar. If I didn't meet Nick there, we didn't like hang out a couple times, and he
I
said,
used to call
"Hey,
that place my office.
There
I
you
used
go.
to call that. I mean, you know what's funny? One of the my favorite photographer who's my mentor, fashion photographer when I went to school at Brooks. He told me that one of his biggest inspirations was a guy he met at a cafe in Malibu, and it was a photographer he ran into from the same. They're like from where are they from? Croatia. He ran into his favorite photographer from the same country he's from in Croatia, in Malibu, when he was like 30 years old. Sat down, got to talk to him. It was like running into it was like the starstruck moment. He ran into the guy, like fucking dream opportunity. This guy's sitting down, drinking coffee, reading a newspaper by himself. My
all we
teacher,
wanted was some alone time."
my teacher Nino sits down with him, introduces himself, starts talking to him. They're from the same country, so they get along right away. Apparently this guy is like the most charismatic fucking guy you've ever met in your entire life, so he just makes everybody feel like he's their best friend kind of thing. And they just started talking, and he asked him, he was like, "Where's your portfolio? Like, can I see your portfolio sometime? Can I stop by your office sometime? This and that. Like, I would love to like work for you or intern, whatever." And the guy tells him, he's like, "I don't have a fucking portfolio." He's like, "I don't have an office." He's like, I don't. You're in my office. He's like, "I come here.
You don't have an appointment.
I come here. I have coffee every day, and I read the newspaper for like from this time to this time every day, and I talk to people and I meet people." And
So he was there for this type of interaction.
kind of,
Yeah.
I mean, that was part of it. That
Right.
was a part of his mindset and the way he operated. And to me, when it comes to business people, everybody always says think outside the box, but what does that really mean? Like, when I think of thinking outside the box, I think of getting what I want, as far as like whatever your fucking idea of success is, like achieving your goals in a way that is unorthodox to what the general public has said you have to do. And normally, like when I went to the bar, I can't say that I've met more friends and had more professional interactions just going to that bar, being myself in a casual setting, and running into people whenever they wanted to be casual and not talk about work, not get that cold call from some guy who they don't fucking know trying to sell them something, and just being like, "Hey, what's up, man? Blah blah blah. Oh, what do? You're a fashion designer. I'm a fashion photographer." Like, "Oh yeah, blah blah. We had a great conversation before this. Here's my phone number. Give me a call sometime." It's a way different type of business interaction than cold calling or trying to email somebody's agent or trying to talk to
But
somebody's
what you're
manager.
saying right now, by the way, is exactly proving the whole idea that I was saying before about product placement.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it's all about. I mean, it's subtle manipulation.
Sure, exactly.
It's subtle
But no,
manipulation.
it's because you're getting to know at least what you think is the real self, and not some fucking facade bullshit
Exactly.
of like, "Oh, Mr. Johnson, I'm here to," and it's
And
just,
manipulation.
It's gross.
The word itself, manipulation, sounds really dirty. That sounds like it sounds like a really negative connotative like type of word. It just sounds like you're trying to you have a plan.
What has Matt in it?
You have a plan other than what you're projecting in order to get something from somebody.
Mm-hmm.
But in the end, it's not always under bad intentions. Like, a lot of times, if people didn't manipulate people, some of the greatest things that have ever happened probably wouldn't have happened, you know?
Well, even
What if it
simple
was
as
a good...
hygiene manipulation, like brushing your teeth, you're manipulating the bacteria in your
Yeah,
mouth.
yeah, but I mean, like, a lot of times you're doing it out of a mutual thing,
Yeah.
but people manipulate people who they view above them. So it's like, I'm going to try to get more out of this. I'm going to try to talk up to this guy, get this guy. I want this guy to be my friend. I want this guy to be my friend, number one, because I think he's cool. Number two, because he can help me.
It goes the other way, too,
And
though.
I think if you're a cool person, you don't fuck everybody over, you should want to pay it back mutually. You know what I mean? It should be a mutual exchange. But they have a lot more to offer you than they realize you have to offer them. And that's something where, like, you almost have to be friends kind of first. Like I said, if you're just trying to rip people off, you're not going to get... You probably won't get very far very fast. But if you're actually doing it because you want to help yourself out first, but then you also are paying respects and like, okay, this guy's... Number one, he's my friend. Number two, he's going to help me. Number three, I'm going to pay him back. That's kind of like how I would say, like, honest manipulation goes.
Yeah, there was an interesting Tim Ferriss podcast I listened to recently, but Ferriss wasn't even in it. It was just some guy breaking down this... It was called the Canvas Theory, I think. But the whole theory is anything you do should try to be to help someone else if you can, and not even expect anything in return. But by doing that over time, people think you're awesome, essentially.
Yeah.
And you are being
People
awesome.
yeah.
And then they want to pay it back to you, you know? And then...
It's not that you're expecting it to come back to you,
Right.
but it usually does.
Well, a lot of times, too,
I mean, being a good guy usually pays off.
Well, a favor a lot of times to you comes at no cost because you already have the information. For example, if you're a mechanic and my car breaks down, I can go to a mechanic and it costs $500, but to you it might cost a half an hour of your time and, you know, nothing else. And you could do me a favor, save me $500 for 30 minutes of your time. I think the world of you. Not only did he save me $500, but he's doing me a favor, solid fucking dude. And you're like, I just spent 30 minutes. I like working on cars or whatever. I had nothing else to do. It's fine.
You know what? You just said basically my strategy right now. As far as like me becoming a professional fighter and a professional photographer, I'm offering my services to people who I think... I'm offering my services to people who I choose to offer them to for free because I know that I believe in my abilities and this and that. But like this whole thing with GFC in the gym... that couldn't have worked out any fucking better for me. Like, that was a dream come true because I basically asked them for their permission when I first started going, hey, can I bring my camera sometimes? I want to, like, it would be cool, like, I'll give you guys pictures, like, I want to do this for you. You guys don't have to pay me. The best things I ever did came out of doing free photo shoots for people. Because I wanted to. I thought, hey, look at this fucking guy. I got a great idea. I would love to shoot him. Sometimes they're on, like, oh my god, like, you want to take... Sure, I'll do it. And sometimes they're like, I don't know, man, I don't really like pictures kind of thing. And then each time that it happens, though, I create a relationship with that person. And a lot of times, they love the pictures because they're pictures that I wanted to take to begin with. And I want to take them because I wanted to take them, but the relationship that came out of that, and then me doing it for free, and I guess I don't want to say it's like humility. I don't like to like I don't want to say that about myself or something like that. But like doing things that are humble for other people pays off, man. Like it really does. Doing nice things pays off. Doing things that you want to do because you want to do them and help somebody else, it's gonna come back. I don't believe in karma because shit's fucking a roller coaster constantly, and there's no predicting it really. But I definitely got to say, man, like every time I've helped people out doing something that I thought like I thought that I was actually being the burden. You know what I mean? A lot of times I feel like I'm being the burden, asking this person to give me my time, but then they view it on the other end, saying like, "Holy crap, this guy went to school for photography. He's taking these awesome pictures." I've gotten a lot of times where like I was like, thank you so much for letting me do this. And they're like, no, thank you. Like, are you kidding me? And I'm like, oh, like that's even more of a compliment.
Well, no, but think about it,
you know
though.
what I mean?
You, like, on your end, yeah, so it's mutually beneficial, right? On your end, you're like, holy fuck, I'm going to take pictures with Anderson Silva and Ronda Rousey, and it's just, like, to
That
me,
was
the biggest
mind-blowing,
thrill
dude.
ever. But to them, they're
was
like,
life-changers.
we're getting free photographs from what looks to be a very, very credible photographer. Maybe
Yeah.
we don't know his name, but
I
we
mean,
don't know
they-
anyone's
yeah.
name coming up because they're coming up.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that they really took me, GFC, the fact that they took me in like that, I mean, it was, they could see when I first started showing up how passionate I was about doing this because I boxed when I was a little kid.
Sure, yeah.
And it was the only sport it was the first sport I ever played. The first sport that I ever went to practice for and had a team and, like, we practiced together. First time I ever did it. Then it was baseball, then it was football. But boxing was the first one. I stopped because I was just like, it's just a bunch of different shit. My coach was an asshole. He was an ex-Army drill sergeant. I got jumped like 3 times in practice.
What?
Because, yeah. Dude, I grew up in a rough town. So I was running laps one time. There was a kid who was like 3 years older than me,
And what sport was this again?
boxing.
Okay.
He was like 3 years older than me. We were running laps. You always started running laps before practice. So I was running laps the like week before. This kid who was like 3 years older than me was getting bitched out by the Army sergeant coach because he was being like lazy and fucking around and this and that. And the coach pointed at me as an example,
no.
being like, look at this fucking little kid, like he's killing it, this and that, blah, blah,
coach didn't
blah.
even know what he was. He might have known what he was doing.
He might have, dude.
He might have known what he was doing.
He might have.
Maybe he thought you would win.
You know what's funny though is his son, who
Yeah.
I feel bad for, was a year younger than I was, and his dad, who's like the drill sergeant,
Yeah.
was really pressing hard on this kid to be a pro boxer. We're like 9 years old. I was like 9 years old, but this kid was amazing. This kid
Daddy,
was,
I don't want to get hit in the head anymore.
This kid was way
It's hard to
better
do
than-
math. Math is hard. Wasn't even good at math to begin with. Getting division signs
See,
knocked out of his
I think
face.
he did it because he couldn't tell the bruises. Like, oh no, yeah, he had that bruise before he came home.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, you thought he was born with like a skin defect, so you could just, if you beat him up right away and
beat
he
him
just
up-
comes up all fucking lumped up, then you could just use that all the way through.
Or like, yeah, he was at boxing practice. He got punched in the face.
Yeah, then
What
like
are you
2
talking
weeks
about?
goes by when you don't beat him. Like, did you get surgery? Did they find some treatment?
No, but this guy, anyway, I was running laps, he used me as an example, talk shit about this other guy. I was running laps, he comes up behind me, I wasn't expecting anything, because some time had gone by, fucking grabs my arm, puts it behind my back, shoves me against the fence, like 3
Just out of
his
nowhere.
friends. Yeah, we were running laps together. And it was dark.
Was there anyone else
Fucking-
around?
Not a lot of people. I mean, it's not a city, it's a
But
town.
people like saw this happening.
It was dark.
Trying to paint a picture
It was
here.
dark. It was dark enough. We were running around a baseball field.
Okay.
We're running like around a baseball field. There's a main street, but it was dark enough, and there was not enough people around.
There's
to
no one
where-
behind you that was, like,
No.
passing you
They
as you were
saw
getting-
there's
getting-
people in front of me, and then they saw an opportunity. They're
Yeah.
in my class.
Yeah.
Like it was like 4 guys older.
It
than
was
me.
preordained.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was planned out.
Okay.
They snuck up behind me, boom, got me against the fence. I ate a couple shots to the ribs and like to the sides, and they're just talking shit to me, this and that. Couldn't do shit. They're older than me,
Well, there
way
was
bigger.
more than 2 of
I was
them. Like,
I was
what
9.
are you gonna do?
I was 9, and there were like 13, and there was like 4 of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
So that happened. Like that probably happened. Like I would say like 2 times. Not that exact same situation, but stuff kind of like that. And then I was like, all right, fuck this. Like, I'm 10 years old, I don't feel like going to fucking boxing and getting jumped
That makes
when I'm
sense.
at practice.
Yeah.
And then having my drill sergeant coach fucking yell at me. So, like, but in a lot of ways, like, that kind of set the foundation for, like, the bar as far as, like, how much tolerance I had. That kind of set the bar with, like, I'm 9, 10 years old, and these fucking kids are beating my ass. I have a fucking crazy ex-drill sergeant army coach that's, like, pushing me to my limits. Because he wants his son to be a pro boxer, and he
became his son, right?
No. I actually became his son's main training partner.
Oh, okay.
So I basically was like, I was a year older than him. I was a little bit bigger than him. We were like the same weight class kind of thing. So like it made sense, and he made me get to his level. You know what I mean? I came in with no experience. This kid's already been boxing since he was like 6, and I had to catch up. he subliminally kind of made me catch up, and then like sure enough, eventually it was sparring every day, every day sparring, this and that, and then all that shit happened, and then I kind of backed off. I was like, nah, I'm gonna do baseball. I know how to box. Like I can buy a bag at home. I know what the workout is.
Sure.
I can do this by myself
Yeah, I
now.
didn't take the lumps anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I got you.
But then I always wanted to go back. It was the only sport that I like had a craving for. So when GFC came back into my life and I started doing MMA and Muay Thai, it was a ball changer, man. I haven't been that obsessed.
See, ball changer?
Yeah, like it was changed the game. Like it fucking changed everything. It made me like the happiest I've been in a long time. And the fact that a gym like that would go so far out of their way to help me out and know that like I was like, okay, am I gonna eat peanuts for 2 weeks or am I gonna eat real food?
And you were like you were entertaining the idea of the sacrifice.
Oh yeah, I did it. I went to training and I couldn't even afford the full membership, so I did the smaller membership and ate peanuts for like 2 or 3 weeks straight, just because I could get 1,000 calories out of a can of peanuts.
We were hanging out at the watching the Fox
so
card.
I would buy cans at the 99-cent store that are 1,000 calories, and they would cost me $1. And I looked it up. Is it safe to eat nothing but peanuts?
Yeah, you get your protein, your fat. That's all you need.
Apparently, they said that's a really healthy diet. Like they
said, peanut diet is good.
Like if you want to lose weight and not die. Like apparently, it has enough of what you need to be okay.
You still gotta limit that shit though, because you're gonna overdose on peanuts in terms of like calories relatively quickly.
I'm sure. So I was eating 2 to 3 cans a day. So I was having about 2 to 3,000 calories a day. Each can was like 960 calories. I would take the salt off so that I wouldn't like.
Couldn't get unsalted peanuts.
No, because I was shopping at the 99-cent store.
So funny. Like you think they'd save money by not having salt?
No,
you could save like 2 cents per can.
No, it's flavor for fat people.
God damn it. Okay, I got you. Go on.
So. I was
for fat people.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
I mean, it's the cheapest flavor you can buy.
Yeah, salt. Yeah.
So I was doing that, man. Like, and it came to the point where I couldn't even afford doing that. It came to the point where I was like, I'm not gonna eat peanuts for another 2 to 3 fucking weeks every day.
They probably taste like shit to you now, right?
No, I love them.
So they're still good.
Yeah,
that's good. 'Cause I love peanuts too. Okay, good.
Yeah, I actually got fond of them, and I was actually feeling good when I was eating nothing but peanuts. But
and you're super skinny, so I'm sure your metabolism's like fucking quick and you're working.
But I'm also burning calories like a fucking crazy
when you're
person.
training.
Like not just training,
just
but
regular.
But I mean, I work at basically a moving company. I load and unload trucks all goddamn day. I skateboard to the bar anytime I go to the bar.
Right.
I'm constantly active.
What do you think you burn on a daily basis? Like 4,000?
I wouldn't be able to tell you because I wouldn't even know. But I guarantee that I burn a lot because I've gone to practice and lost at least 4 to 5 pounds, probably even 6 pounds of water weight within an hour. So I've weighed this much before practice, like 152. Gone to practice, come home, and I'm like 140, like 146. So like, weight falls off me. It's a lot harder to hold it than it is to let it sit there.
Right.
But fuck, what were we talking about right before that?
Reading you were training there, and it was a decision between eating or working out.
No, yeah, but like GFC really, like going back to GFC, they just
that's the Glendale Fighting Club.
Glendale Fighting Club, yeah. That is my family. Like they went out of their way to bring me in as a photographer, as a trade, to be able to work out there. And as somebody who didn't want to eat peanuts for another 2 to 3 weeks, it came to a point where I couldn't even afford to eat peanuts for 2 to 3 weeks and go to practice. It was like, I'm going to have to eat less peanuts than what I was eating if I want to go to practice. And that's when I made that post of a photo that I shot of the owner,
I want asada today.
Yeah, I posted a photo, and the owner saw it, and he hit me up, and he asked me if I want to shoot in exchange for working out there. And to me, that was a dream come true, because at that point, like, everything that's led up to here, meeting Anderson Silva, meeting Ronda Rousey, getting to train at Ronda's gym telling me that I don't have to pay to work out there, and they're going to promote my photography at the same time.
Right.
Like, all of that love and embracement and all of this, like, positive energy that I've been getting out of those fucking experiences that people would be happy to have once in a lifetime. I'm so fortunate just to be born in this state, in this country.
Right.
Not just in this country, but
on
in this
planet.
state. Like, that's insane. I could have
Yeah.
been born fucking anywhere else. You know
Sure.
what I mean?
Yeah.
The fact that I've had this amount of opportunity, this amount of experiences, I can't help but be extremely, like, grateful and humble.
Mhm.
Like, it's overwhelming at times. And whenever each thing happens, like Glendale telling me I don't have to fucking, you know, they're doing this trade with me. It feels like I don't have any excuses. There's no excuses. I have no excuses to
Of
not
what, not to
to not
train?
try my hardest.
And to fight.
And yeah, and to fight and to like and to try to be the best that I can be in photography and fighting, because I would be selfish if I didn't try to make the best of myself and not be grateful. You know, I feel like I have to pay my respects for how much opportunity life has given me.
Sure.
You know, I gotta pay it
would,
back.
Yeah, I would
gotta
say
pay it
I would
back.
say knowing you as long as that I've known you, and you being your interest, to me, the two main ones being the fight game and the photography game, you're in a pretty fucking awesome situation that
Yeah.
you know kind of came to light pretty recently.
Definitely.
But you're in the beginning stages of a pretty great situation that seems like you're ready to take on full force. You're not like, oh yeah, this is cool.
I can't even lie, dude. I've never been this focused.
Uh-huh.
Not in my entire life. I've never had this much drive and focus. The drive has always been there. But the drive was wild before. The drive was
You're
very
just doing
emotional.
This in the four-wheel?
Yeah, I was just fucking going wherever it was. Oh, music right now. Yeah, I'm gonna get back.
Now you're a Ferrari on a freeway and there's no cars in front of you.
Now
and
I'm
you're
just
pedal to the metal.
There are cars in front of me, but I'm just saying,
Oh,
get the
shit.
fuck out of
You
my
got a
way.
DeLorean then,
I'm
bro.
just smashing them. Just
don't need roads.
swatting them.
Yeah,
Like I'm a fucking ninja.
sure.
I gotta take a piss break.
too.
Hold on. I'll go
Well,
first.
I actually have to. Okay, so you gotta take a real piss break too.
Yeah, I gotta
Okay, I
take
thought
a
that was
piss.
your code. Whatever bandana in your pocket? Is it for bandanaing things?
Go for it.
I must break you.
I will break. What's up with that meme going around right now? Rocky
I
4.
don't know what you're talking about.
You haven't seen the so like Rocky. You know Rocky 4, the Russian, right?
Yeah.
There's a meme going around of his face, like saying if he dies, he dies.
It's his face.
It's the guy, the guy that Rocky fights in Rocky 4.
Is he like on life support or something?
No, I'll show you right now. Take a piss. Oh God, you're doing this all over the podcast. Is this a it is a vodcast, right?
I mean, yeah. I'm in a pot over here. Pot of urine.
Let me. What are we at? Oh, it stopped already.
Yeah, it's probably
It's done over an hour.
It's easy, man. It's just seeing how quick
Let me
you
s-
can go.
Well,
Time to get a new camera, Hoss.
I know, but I don't give a fuck if we have these little breaks and transitions.
Nah, it doesn't fuck.
I mean, really, like all of what we've been doing is just fun, so I don't give a fuck.
I mean, the audio's still rolling anyway, so.
Yeah,
At least-
that's true. We can just
At
have. You know what I'll do? I'll do like blackout moments.
Sure.
Where I'll just be like, sorry.
Heath masturbates. Fade in. Whew! Ha! That was good. That was really good. That's why I'm sweating.
Oh, so what do you like? Honestly, dude, do you think I should do 145?
Yeah.
Yeah,
At least for your first fight.
I think so.
You mean
I
like versus like 135 or 115?
No, I'm just
You're
saying.
talking-
No,
you're-
135. Yeah. I ain't gonna do
That's-
115
that's-
or 125.
I would-
Fuck no.
The last thing,
But I'm thinking 155 or 145.
yeah. So the last thing that I think you should be worrying about, if you're trying to fight twice or whatever this year of your life,
2 years before, or 2 fights before I'm 27.
yeah, I feel like weight cutting shouldn't be a priority in your head. Now, if your coaches know what's up and they can kind of pair you with a dude, hopefully not a wrestler that's going to be cutting down from 180 and trying to like just use his muscle to hold you down and John fit your ass, then awesome. Ideally, you'd fight, a fellow striker and you could just not have to worry about a significant weight advantage being insane. And then from there, if you get a couple fights under your belt and you're feeling good and this, that, whatever, then you're more than welcome to experiment with 135, or if you're going up and building muscle and you're getting up to 160, then cutting down to 145, or even getting higher and cutting down to 155. But I wouldn't get weird with a weight cut immediately.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
I would never want to cut more than 5 or 10 pounds.
So
I feel like my body's most efficient when it's at its natural weight.
Okay, so start doing whatever. I mean, right now it seems like you don't even eat enough. You don't even have enough food to be able to eat to put on muscle.
Now I do though.
Now you do that. Okay, so just eat like you want to eat, train like you want to train, whatever, and then
You know what's
see what
dope
you
as
weigh.
fuck, dude? Check this out. This is something I remembered like yesterday. So, sorry, I didn't let the goddamn Los Angeles music pass by.
Yeah. It's a good tune though.
Yeah, it is. Know the guy who I shoot with, I assisted with, the guy that introduced me to Silva, the guy that introduced me to Ronda.
I remember you telling me about him. I don't
Yeah, so he's the guy. He's the reason. I don't want to name drop because I don't know if he'll care. But he's the reason
Michael
that
Jackson.
not Michael Jackson.
Okay.
He's the reason that I basically am where I'm at with the gym. I would have never gone to Glendale, never met Ronda, never met Anderson, or had any of that shit happen if it wasn't for this guy. So, this guy also knows GSP. This guy was the first guy to introduce GSP to Silva. He took pictures of them because he didn't post them for the longest time because they were supposed to fight. So that was going to be part of the promotional pictures of them getting together for that fight. Never happened because GSP obviously walked away. And Silva ended up posting the pictures. And
Oh, he
stuff.
did?
Yeah, he posted a picture of them. It's like them smiling together and like hugging the geese and like doing like the whole like hands together, kind of like that.
Porn.
Whole, yeah, kind of.
Porn,
Yeah.
It's called porn.
Yeah, I guess so. I was trying to be nice. That guy though apparently says that GSP is like the master at like nutritionary diets for fighters.
Yeah.
And he told me back when I was assisting him.
And how long ago was this?
This was probably like almost a year ago.
Okay.
Almost a year ago.
When the fuck did GSP step away? Like 2 years ago?
About a year and a half, I think.
Okay.
Somewhere around there.
Yeah.
But anyway, he told me that like GSP is the best. GSP was already out of the game when he told me this. He was like, GSP is the best nutritionist, dietary kind of guy you can get for fucking like if you're gonna be an MMA fighter doing camps and this and that.
Does he have nutritionists on top of it, or does he like know all the information in his head and he
I
kind
don't
of just does his own
know. I don't know
thing?
if it's through experience or what he does,
Okay.
but apparently he has my friend, the photographer, on like
His diet.
but it's like tailored to what you want to do, you as a person type of thing. Apparently it's like your body weight and your height. That's what he asked me. When I asked my friend the photographer like if he could do this for me, GSP, he said, yeah, how tall are you? How much do you weigh?
That's it?
And I guess, yeah. But I never really followed through with him, so I want to follow. I've talked to him since then. I just always forgot to bring that up. But now that I'm doing this, that's what I want to do because I want to eat as best as I can eat to get in the best condition I can get into. Because like I was talking to you last night, I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. I could get fucking smashed. I could get destroyed in the first round. But I don't think that's gonna happen. I'm pretty goddamn confident. And when I'm fighting, I'm not. I feel like if anything, I'm risk for reward. If there's ever a time I'm risk for reward, it's definitely when I'm fighting. When I'm fighting, I'm definitely I take a lot of chances and I'm willing to eat a lot of shots to be able to get the one that counts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Miguel Torres,
You
the
know?
the Mexican warrior.
I'm definitely got that in me. That's definitely a part of how I fight. But I also like to think that I'll change my fighting style mid-round.
Well, yeah, great.
Mid-round,
Yeah,
I'll be
sure.
like, or jump back and forth, whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? Whatever the situation calls for. But when
That's the artistry of martial arts. By
So
the way.
when I fight, my ultimate goal is learn as much as I can when I'm in camp, learn as much as I can when I'm training, technically try to get the fundamentals down as much as I can, and then when I'm actually fighting or sparring, don't think about any of it. When I'm actually fighting, I try to be as loose and like fluid and water-like as I can be to try to I try to like really be as instinctual as I can be. And the technique comes through the muscle memory.
Sure,
The technique comes through the muscle memory, so I'm reacting the way that I want to react, but I'm not focusing on my technique.
It's just happening.
I'm specifically focusing on the moment and on my instincts.
Being like water.
Completely instinctual. I'm trying to be as in the moment as I can be and literally be completely instinctual.
Right.
I don't want to think. I'm not thinking about anything when I'm fighting. When I'm fighting, I'm looking at hands, face, moving. You know, that's it.
Chest.
I try to get like as I try to cut out as much as I can, as much as I can, and all the technical shit, all the shit about is my jabs landing this way? Am I throwing an inside kick? There's literally no thought. I try to be as reactional as I can and be more like a fucking insect, you know?
Well, because ideally you've done
React.
all that work ahead of time.
Yeah, I've already done all that. So that I try to hardwire in there so that it comes out without having to think about it. If I can throw a perfect kick and not think whatsoever about the technique about it and concentrate on what's going to happen next or think blah blah blah, kind of just be in the moment, then that's the ultimate goal. Because I feel like fighters lose when they overthink. They lose. That's the ultimate thing. Like they
Can't pull the trigger.
They can't pull the trigger. There's too many questions.
Right.
There's too many questions going on.
Jam.
And instead of, you know what's funny is I was watching Scrubs, that old like TV show. There was an episode where there's two surgeons and they were seeing who was the best surgeon. One surgeon won, he was a dumbass, and the other surgeon's like a really smart
just,
guy,
like,
and he
clear.
lost. And he was like, "Why did you pick that guy instead of me?" And he said, "Because when he's doing his job, he's not thinking about all the possibilities. He's getting from point A to B and doing it. He's in the
Seamlessly
moment.
as possible.
He's in the moment.
Right.
He's fluid. He's in the moment.
Right.
Whereas you are constantly thinking and backing up and trying to do this and that, and you're the smarter person because of that. But at the same time, your
lesser,
intelligence
yeah.
is getting in the way.
That's the paralysis by analysis.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
classic,
you're sometimes being smart goes too far. You know, being smart definitely causes hesitation.
Well, look at the high functioning or not so functioning autistic people. You know, they're amazing at blackjack. They can run off numbers here and there, but they can't talk to a woman. They're just stuck.
Yeah.
They're just stuck in knowing everything and not knowing what to
Yeah.
do about it.
No, it's crazy, man. It's something that I've tried to balance. You know what I mean, within my fighting style.
Sure.
But it's hard. It's definitely hard. But what are we at now? I think we're at like an hour and a half.
Good.
Cheers to our first podcast.
We should do a full 3 in honor of the Rogan.
I don't think I'll get a full 3.
But there's
I'm
some.
down to keep going though.
I read some.
I'm having a good time.
I read
man.
some GSP news. I'm having a good time too. I read some GSP news that looks like at least Tyron Woodley posted publicly text that he's been having with GSP. Like he released a screenshot of his phone.
Is that even legal? Like
I mean, he did it. I don't think the cops are gonna bust his door down.
GSP. I know some crazy shit about GSP through my friend. But
He
you know he like solidly believes in aliens.
Oh yeah, well, he said
Like,
on the
he's
Rogan
like-
podcast.
But like he shits his pants. Like he's like
he
he was afraid to stay at the photographer that I know's house because
why?
he was worried about like not having the proper protection from aliens and stuff. Like literally thought that aliens he thought aliens were specifically like they're gonna take him when they get the chance. Kind of
No,
thing.
he was. You have to listen. It's a
That's
shorter
what it
one
sounded
too.
like anyway.
No, there's a Rogan podcast with GSP on it, and he's like, sometimes I lose time, and the aliens come and take me away. And then Rogan's just sitting there, just like, sounds like you have CTE, bro. Like it sounds like you got some fucking brain damage. He's like, at night I sit there and the aliens they come. He's like, well, are you sure you're not like about to fall asleep and maybe you're having a dream? He goes, I don't know. He
I've
goes,
heard some other crazy shit about GSP. I'm not gonna say it on the podcast, but I'll tell you after. Just
I'll
remind
pull
me.
this plug right now and plug it right back in.
Seriously though, man, like this is something I've been wanting to do for a while.
Yep.
Having a fucking great time.
Yeah, dude.
Do another cheers.
Play your clanks.
This is the first of many. What's the name gonna be though? We don't have a fucking name for our podcast.
Oh, it should be the Street Fighter.
The Street Fighter. That would be good.
That will be good, but that might be confusing.
But that-
actually.
yeah.
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 Plus, there might be some copyright situation going on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We can think about it.
Two hairy men.
We are both hairy. We are both hairy men.
It would be like two hairy men, two cavemen. Like I'm trying to think of what me and you look like to the public.
Soda in the beard. I don't know.
Like when the public sees me and
Uh-huh.
they see you and we're kicking it together, what do they think?
Huh.
What do they think of us as like a combo?
Right.
What do we represent?
Cafe
It's
con
like-
leche. Welcome to the Cafe Culture Podcast. We don't cook shit, fuck faces.
But it's like leche. You got some cinnamon or ginger.
Yeah,
or
right.
somewhere,
But
right?
Canella's taken. Fucking dipshit.
Who should we have as a guest? Who would you think would be a good guest?
I think having Tyler would be fucking hilarious.
That would be awesome.
I think. I don't know. I think CY I think would be good. He fucking
CY
lives.
would be
He lives
fucking
4
cool.
feet away when he's
Yeah.
here. That'd be good.
He has what days? Mondays and Tuesdays. So whenever he's not doing his thing with Amy.
Sure, yeah. I think it'd be cool to have, maybe Daisy,
I
just
tell
like
you-
like her, like how she views being on the other side of the bar.
I just burped up pupusas that I had earlier.
What flavor?
I got a funny story.
Uh-huh.
So there's this place that I just had. It's on Venice called El Sabor. They
Okay.
do Salvadorian pupusas and Salvadorian food.
Uh-huh.
I Google the name, make my order, go down there. Hey, we don't have an order under Michael, this
Uh-huh.
and that. So I'm like, okay. I look it up on my phone. There's a place on West Adams that's fucking 4 blocks away from there called Es Con Sabor.
Okay.
So there's Con Sabor
And it's
and
cool.
Es Con Sabor.
Uh-huh.
Es Con Sabor is Cuban food. Apparently, I made my order down there.
Okay.
Never had this fucking place.
Mm.
So I already ordered at a place that I've never had before.
So what in that moment are you feeling like, oh, like I'll try some new food? Or you're like, ah, fuck, I wanted to have this
wanted
shit.
to have that,
Uh-huh.
but I was like,
Yeah,
I've
be like
never
water,
had.
baby.
But I was like, I've never had Cuban pupusas.
Okay.
Never had Cuban.
But they had the same flavors
Salvadoran.
then, though. They had the
yeah,
same.
it's a similar type of food, different seasoning.
What did you order?
slightly. I got they're called I can't say it right now because I'm fucking buzzed.
I know, I can't say it.
Revueltas.
Whatever. Yeah.
Revueltas
What the
means
fuck's in it?
that means mixed.
Mixed meat.
And no, apparently
Peanuts?
what they associate it with when they talk about pupusas, if you say that word, generally when you say that word, it means mixed up, like something.
word pupusa itself.
No, the word revuelta.
Uh-huh.
Revuelta. That means to be
Revuelta.
revuel. It's like
Revuelta.
VW.
Vuelta.
Re.
Revuelta.
Say it slow with me. Re.
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 There's 2 R's in the beginning?
Kind of. It's like a roll. Re.
Is it 1 R or 2 R's? Can't be mixing up the rules on me, bro.
It's one.
I took up the Spanish 3,
One.
bro.
So it's re.
Re.
Vuelta.
Vueltas.
Revueltas.
Revuelta.
If it's plural for
Sure,
tas,
got
yeah.
it. We would have
Revueltas.
2, obviously, so.
So anyway, it's what they associated with is pork and cheese.
Okay.
And she asked me with everything, so they threw in beans and some other shit like
And
that.
some little chopped onion.
Oh, dude.
Cilantro.
So this place that I was gonna go to called El Sabor or Con Sabor, it was alright. I mean, I've never really had a lot of pupusas, but it was alright. So I fuck up, order at this other place, go to this other place after I'm like, I don't know where the fuck I'm going. I fucking put in Google Maps and shit and get there. Get there, get my food, bring it home. It destroyed
Like
the other place.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say destroyed your insides.
No.
Okay, so
No.
so you accidentally
I mean, that
found.
could still happen.
Yeah.
That could still happen.
this was
We
like
haven't
hours
gotten that
ago.
far.
So it's like,
Yes. That could still happen.
Uh-huh.
But I was like, holy fuck, that was the best mistake.
Price very similar.
It's a little more, but worth the little more.
Not even close to being. It's so much worse.
It was so okay. Last time I got like 4 at this other place.
Yeah.
I got 2 at this place.
Uh-huh.
It was the same price. Those 2 filled me up more than those 4.
So they're bigger.
I mean, I was drunk when I had the first ones, so I mean, it was kind of like they seemed similar size, but
Yeah.
I think they were more dough, and this one had more actual shit.
Sure, more filling, yeah.
more actual substance.
Literally more filling.
Oh, dude,
Um.
it was amazing.
Okay.
So if you ever go down to fucking West Adams, go stop by Es con Sabor.
Es con sabor.
Yeah,
Sabor?
sabor. That means with it's with flavor.
Okay, that's the word for it.
Es con sabor means it's with flavor.
Flavor,
Yeah.
Okay.
Because con sabor means with flavor.
Sure, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And I also found a little divey bar that's right around the corner from there that's fucking looks dope as fuck.
You can go in?
No, I mean there's people in there kind of shit, but I couldn't tell if they were actually open.
What time was this?
Dude, it was called it was earlier today, like 4
Right,
o'clock. It was
uh-huh.
called like Fallas Dodo.
It's on Adams and what?
Adams and like Redondo or somewhere around
Oh,
there.
so one. Okay, so it's pretty.
Yeah,
it's pretty
yeah.
fucking
It's
close.
literally like I took Redondo down to Adams
Mm.
or West Adams, and then I hung a right, and it was like right there. It was called. It looked. I've never been there, but it was called Fallas Dodos. FAISDO space DO,
Mm.
and it looked like a cool little like Western-ish like dive bar. I don't know what it's really like there, but I mean it looked cool.
Well, I feel like we gotta like at least now.
We gotta
experience
venture
that.
out a little bit, man.
Yeah.
I love.
We can
little
always
bars,
end
but-
up. We can always
Yeah.
end up at the LB.
Mhm.
It's a little too convenient for me right now, just to like.
Oh, I gotta go take a Piola #2.
Okay, maybe I'll tell some jokes. I actually heard a really funny joke today, and now I'm like, oh, okay. Well,
for it. I'll listen.
no, so I was listening to a Bill Simmons podcast, and they had someone on from the roast battle. And apparently, this dude was talking about some of the insults that got slayed upon him, and in real life, him and his wife had a miscarriage.
Oh shit.
Um,
Well, I did hear about this.
Okay, so here's the two jokes that this guy was talking about that were levied against him, and he thinks they're just fucking hilarious because, you know, they're funny's funny. He said, someone was saying about him, he's like, yeah, you know, Dan had a miscarriage recently, and there's nothing funny about that, which is how they knew that he was the father.
Holy shit.
And then this other one, he was saying, I guess his eyes kind of look squinty. I don't know even what that means. I've never seen this guy before. But he goes, yeah, you know, Dan, you know, it always looks like you're looking at the sun. You'll never have. That's just good work.
Dude, I've heard those, like, I mean, obviously, you got me into the Joe Rogan podcast. I got to meet Joe Rogan, by the way. Fucking awesome. When I was listening to the last couple episodes, he was just talking about, like, how amazing the Comedy Store's been lately. And I feel like it's crazy, because for me, that's another, like, one of those opportunities. It's like, he's a guy who's been around there since fucking, like, 94. He's been going there for a while,
Yeah.
been a regular. People know who he is there.
Yeah.
It's the Comedy Store. It's fucking West Hollywood. People know what the Comedy Store is. He's saying that this is, like, the second coming of the heyday. And I feel like
Not
I
just
kinda,
there, everywhere. Like,
yeah,
globally.
no, yeah,
At least
globally.
domestic.
But I mean, it's a hot spot. Like
Oh,
comedy. I mean,
100%,
that's a hot
dude.
spot.
It's like
right
there's
now.
a fucking cellar in New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, for me to just kind of step in unknowingly as like a new guy bystander who's never really kicked it in LA, kind of like, oh yeah, I got a friend who works there now, kind of thing. I'm just gonna go to a couple shows there, this and that. That is a fucking awesome place, and I wouldn't have known that I was stepping into one of the best time periods to go there unless he would have announced it. I would have just assumed that this is how it's always been.
You're gonna
kinda
go.
thing.
You're gonna go this week.
Yeah, I want to. I want to go. The only thing that sucks is I gotta miss practice. I either gotta miss practice or go after practice, but which is fine because they have different shows. If I go on Tuesday, I'll be able to make it because I want to go to the roast, and the roast I don't think still starts till like 11:30 or 12.
It's not at 10.
I don't think so.
All right, well then let's go.
But we gotta figure it out. Like we gotta actually see what's
Wow,
up.
because
Oh, I'm out.
I
Do
was
you,
gonna.
do you got another one?
Yeah,
All
bring them both. I
Can
think there's
alright.
two left. Bring them both, and we'll kill those both, and we'll wrap it up at that
All
point.
right, dude. This has been fucking dope, though.
I wouldn't expect anything else, man.
Exactly.
We only have these conversations every fucking night. Two left, right?
That's what I'm saying. When I was thinking of who I was gonna have a fucking podcast with, like if I ever did one, conversation's easy.
But yeah, I think CY would be a great guest. I think Tyler would be a fucking hilarious guest.
Tyler would be awesome.
I think
Eventually, I would like to bring somebody from my gym too.
oh yeah, I mean
You
obviously,
know,
yeah.
have somebody from the gym just fucking talk about fights, or we should do our own fight companions. What if What if we
Yeah.
watch fights but didn't, like, for certain ones? Not all of them. I mean, obviously we can have like shit and people and food, but like, what if we did some where it was just like some like guys that actually know fighting, watch the fights. I'll take my camera to your house,
Sure.
and we'll do like a regular fight companion. And I could even get like lavaliers. I could rent some
word.
lavaliers. So like, I'll get a back angle showing the actual TV in the fights. We might get in trouble for that, but I don't give a fuck because we're nobody right now.
Right. Come and get us, fucking.
We're nobody right now.
Right.
Who the fuck is gonna chase us down? So we could actually show the fight, like have in the background us talking, but we'll have logs like recording our on top of that. So
No, that'd be fun, especially for like the small, like a
I
Fox
get like
car
a,
that's good,
I
but like
get,
no one knows about
I
it.
get like a Zoom and like record the audio to the Zoom, so like we could have like it'll be like the audio will sound like it's actually coming through like the TV.
Yeah.
And then we could add like our lobs like we're commentating on top of it, and like we'll just be sitting in this angle like looking at our backs like in the corner by your front door kind of shit. I think it'd be cool.
That would be dope. That'd be fucking.
I mean, it might not work out, but
Well, I mean,
as far as like YouTube blindness.
Well,
but you know who doesn't give a fuck? Who I'm starting to support?
Vimeo.
Vimeo gives no fucks. Vimeo does not give a fuck, and I love them. I love them.
You guys gonna restart that guy?
I think it's actually still going. I think we're good.
Fuck yeah.
Let me see. Yeah, we're at 21 minutes. So we at least have almost an hour and a half. Fucking third cheers.
Oh.
Last one. Glop, glop, glop. So I recorded.
Can't cheers, not drink, dude. Against the rules. Yeah. I gotta know when the tapping thing began.
I didn't. I don't know why I like it. I didn't used to do it.
I used to do it. You're coming up. You're bubbling up. Wait, that's what's gonna reach. Oh. All right. Sorry.
Just like me, I pinch it.
You pinch it. It's good. Like from within or external pinch?
External.
Nice. Good work. Oh yeah. Sausage Party.
It's good. Fuck Red Band.
I don't like building shit up because
Sorry,
again, like I know, like, you know, expectations is everything. But I'll say this: I thoroughly enjoyed it. It surprised me here and there. I feel like they left no stone unturned. I laughed hard a lot. I thought it was. I enjoyed it a lot.
I gotta watch it. I mean, what
Tyler wants to see it. If you want to go with Tyler or whatever, I mean,
yeah,
he's trying to see it.
I would love to.
He's like, you want to see it again? I'm like, maybe.
Tyler,
I just paid $15.
By the way, our friend Tyler doesn't like us calling him this, but I call him the Mouse Murderer from now on.
Right.
Tyler the Mouse Murderer, whatever the fuck his last name is.
The Bushman.
Yeah, I want PETA to like chase him down.
Dude, it's.
I want to like show that video and like have
Just like
PETA
insert it in right here. In case you don't know, my friend Tyler, lover of
By the
animals, he came
He's
across.
a brutal murderer.
I mean, to be fair, that mouse was stuck in a trap and its arm was broken, so I'm assuming that he let it go.
Stop.
It would have gotten killed by a
That'll
predator.
be our next podcast.
Okay.
That'll be our next podcast.
It was a savage killing, though. I must say, it was savage mainly in its economical nature. He knew what he was doing, and it was.
So what do you think of our makeshift studio? Do you think this should be the setup we normally have? I mean, you got to see the outcome to see what it looks like, obviously. But I got to do this.
Xbox talking shit, bro.
There we go.
Jesus. I have to look at this sad child's face here. That's like that. We come like there is no sadder child.
For what the people who are listening can't see,
I want to hear you explain what I'm looking at. Please, please.
I don't know if she's Chinese.
I want you to
or
explain all of it. Get the backpack in there. Get all of it. And I want the color.
There's
color
an Asian girl of some age. I don't know. She's like 6 years old, climbing up a fucking ladder through a jungle, looking like somebody fucking.
Looking like, why aren't you helping me at the camera? 'Cause
Yeah.
someone's holding that shit.
And there's somebody behind her, like sneaking her head behind her backpack.
There's a whole line.
No,
dude.
but yeah, there's a line of people. Apparently in China, you gotta fucking climb a mountain when you're 6 years old to get to school.
Yeah.
And we're watching a still frame from that, and it's.
But this girl's upset as fuck.
It's an amazing photo. It's an amazing photo. I mean, I hope the photographer like extended his hand after the fact, but.
Rather, like, look at the Northern Lights or something.
He was like, what if they were like all jolly and like singing songs before then? He was like, wait, look really sad and depressed,
right?
and fucking miserable.
Or like she was having a great time and she was getting her cardio.
That? What if he staged
well, no,
it?
but maybe she like was like doing her cardio, feeling good, getting her heart pulse, and she sneezed, and when she came up, that's what happened.
It does look kind of like that.
Or she's about to sneeze.
I think we're wrong.
It's still
though.
a terrible image. I
think
don't look at it. Tyler would take care of her in a second. just give him the stone, bro. You'll see.
Oh man.
But yeah, I recommend Sausage Party.
It was good. You actually like fairly. What would you give it out of like your decimal system? 0 out of 10.
If I were to give it a movie going rating, I'd give it a 10 out of 10.
Wow.
To me, there's almost
That's high
nothing
from you,
better.
'cause I actually respect you for movie.
Well, I
stuff.
enjoy watching a great comedy in the theater more than I enjoy watching like a great drama or action movie in the theater because there's an actual infectious nature of laughter, right?
Yeah. Definitely.
Like if you're watching some action scene,
I laughed harder because other people laugh.
right?
Definitely.
But also too, it's communal. You get to understand like what people think is funny and how funny they think it is based off the level degree of laughter.
Yeah.
So if we're watching like an action scene and it's like the coolest, The Matrix, like we might all be saying like this is the coolest fucking shit ever, and it is. But I don't know how you feel about it. You might think this is weird and I don't understand the
It's
plot.
a different experience when you watch it alone as opposed to in a community.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now with a and you have to go home and go on like IMDb message boards, whatever, and be like,
Yeah.
oh, everyone it was on IMDb's top 250. It has gonna win like the Oscar, whatever. Everyone loved it. But when you're in the theater and you're watching a comedy, and you're fucking dying, and you know that everyone else is dying around you, you're all collectively loving
yeah.
something at the same time.
Exactly.
There's something different
Special.
about it. Yeah,
Just
it's
special.
and
Special.
and it's a very theater specific situation versus you can watch.
It's people like experiencing joy to like the furthest extent all at the same time.
Yeah, so if I were you, I'd purposely pick a time where it's going to be crowded. Just buy your tickets ahead of time so you get some good seats.
We gotta go to the Comedy Store.
We'll just cheers on Tuesday, or
We gotta-
pick a day where it doesn't get in the way of
Hopefully it
training.
works out, but yeah.
I mean, so this week for me is a little bit busy. Well, I'll make space for that for sure. But it's like it's this week, and then it's next week,
I'll
and
tell
then I'm
my
gone,
girl-
and then I'm gone for 2 weeks.
I'll tell my homegirl ahead of time.
Yeah, then I'm gone for 2 weeks. I'm gonna be at Burning Man. I'm back for 2 days, and then I'm gonna be in San
I would
Diego.
say Burning Man's not fucking 2 weeks long.
No,
Where you-
yeah. So I'm at Burning Man for like that Saturday, and then we drive home the following Monday, like 10 days. It's 8 days later, whatever. And then I'm home Tuesday and Wednesday. That Wednesday night, like my 3 best friends are flying into LA
From Jersey?
From Jersey that night on Wednesday.
Have I met any of your friends?
You've
from
met
Jersey?
none of them. You might have met one, but I
How
don't
the
think
fuck
so.
did you end up here from Jersey?
Well, I'll get there in a second. But my friend's getting married in October, and I'm a groomsman, and the bachelor party's in San Diego. So 3 of them are flying here Wednesday night, crashing my place. Throw a bait little bar that night, and then we're driving.
I'll see you there.
We're driving that Thursday morning to San Diego, and we have an Airbnb Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday we come back here. They're going to be here all day Sunday, and then they fly out Monday morning. So it's Burning Man, then 2 days, and then that,
And then all that shit.
and then all that shit.
Okay.
I'm going to be wrecked.
You still have my blender, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, I never got it.
Okay, well, yeah, that's still your blunder. How to get to LA?
I mean, in a nutshell, because we're gonna wrap this up in a second.
All right,
Like where'd you go to school? I know you, but I've never gotten into like this type of conversation with you.
all right, this might take like 10 minutes.
Yeah. Actually, okay, take a brief pause because I'm gonna start and restart.
Okay, and I'll take
Stop
one more
and
piss.
restart,
Okay,
yeah.
I have to take one more piss.
Have you seen the angle? Oh, I'm gonna change the battery too, because the battery's about to die. That was actually perfect timing.
Damn, not seeing the angle actually.
It looks good. I actually think it's gonna come out fucking dope.
I told you
It's exactly kind of what I thought it would be. So look, that's what it basically looks like. We're sitting down, but it's gonna be all black and white.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, dude, it's perfect. That's framing, I like it. I like the way the table's lined up. Like the fucking perspective goes to the point. Love it.
I'm filming in S-Log right now, so it's gonna be like flat. But then I'm gonna expand the contrast, and the backdrop's gonna go solid black.
Cool.
All right, so in a nutshell, what the fuck?
How to get from New Jersey to LA?
Yeah.
So,
Like what? How did that even come to be? You went to school somewhere, I'm assuming.
yeah, I went to school somewhere. That's a good assumption. Yeah, so I went to high school. I applied to a couple schools when I was like a junior, sophomore. I took media in high school, and I'm like, I like this. It's cool. I did like a couple music videos. Like I thought, like
Really?
like,
you directed or produced?
yeah, I
or?
directed them. Well, it was high school, so it was like, you know,
Okay,
I was
you
in
did
high school.
you did everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
At that level, you kind of you're like a DP, producer, director.
Yeah, and the cool thing about music videos is that, one, you don't have to worry about the writing of the script, because the script are the lyrics, or just whatever you want to do with the
Yeah.
music. And then, more importantly, which is like an issue I always had, was you don't have to fuck with sound, because the sound's a song.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. That's why I like doing that kind
Yeah,
of shit.
it's great.
It's so fun.
And I've always loved music videos. Anyway,
Yeah.
so took Media 1, did great. Took Media 2, it was
High school, college?
high school. Yeah,
Okay.
Media 2 is cool. There's something kind of weird happened there, but I'll get into that later, or never. So
Eventually.
anyway, yeah. So anyway, I applied to 5 schools that all had film programs. I applied to a couple like Temple, which is in Philadelphia, which is right by where I live in New Jersey. I live in New Jersey's 2 states, in case you don't know. Essentially, it's south and north. North is like very close to like New York, like Hoboken. People a lot of times work in New York,
Yeah.
commute from New Jersey. South Jersey is like Philadelphia based. So even sports teams, if you live in South Jersey, it's like
It's Philly.
Exactly, it's Philly. It's
You're a
Eagles,
Philly fan,
Flyers.
yep.
I don't really care about
I've heard
baseball that much,
before.
but yeah,
I've actually
Phillies.
heard that. I think you've told me that before.
And Sixers, yeah. And then North is like the Devils, the Giants,
Okay.
so on and so forth. The Nets, sorry guys, but again, the Sixers kind of suck ass too, so whatever. I applied to a couple schools, and one of them was NYU. And I applied to NYU early decision, which means it's like you have a better chance of getting in, because you're like saying, if you accept me, I'm committing no matter what, versus them saying like, oh, you're accepted, like, are you going to come here?
Yeah.
And I applied to NYU. My dad's like, it's an expensive school, but if you get in, like, I'll pay for it. Like, you know, like, it's
That's
the best.
fucking dope.
I'm like,
That's
cool.
so dope.
I applied and I got it.
That's amazing.
So I went to NYU. Went to NYU. New York's fucking amazing. It's super cool. I was there for 4 years. I actually did not get my degree in film, because I was in the film school. After my first year, kind of like was bugging out about X, Y, and Z, and I'm like, oh, like.
What'd you get a degree in?
So I still stayed in NYU, but I went from the film school. I tried to transfer directly from the film school, which is Tisch. Tisch is the art school. It has like
Okay.
film, acting,
But it's under
theater.
NYU.
It's yeah, NYU.
Okay.
They have a bunch of different satellite schools. They have
Yeah.
and then I tried to go right into the business school, Stern, because they have like one of the best business schools. But to go from the film school to that
Tisch
school
to
is like
that.
insane.
Yeah.
They just kind of like laughed me out of the room, like that doesn't make any sense. I'm like, okay, so
That's so stupid though, because to be like somebody who does what they do in the industry, half of it's business sense.
yeah, sure. And people say, do you have any regrets? And I normally say no, but if I can go back now, the one thing I would have done was stayed in Tisch, because now you see me out here, I'm trying to kind of, be more creative.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
then again, I might not have had the...
So you got out of Tisch into the business school?
So I went out to try to go into Stern, the business school, but they wouldn't let me because it was like too big of a shift. Like the pendulum was going from like
Yeah.
all the way west to all
Yeah,
the way
yeah.
east. So I went south, and that was the College of Arts and Sciences. Was kind of like the main generic school that had a bunch of different majors. You can like major,
Gotcha.
like a lot of the pre-med kids were in there because they were doing like, I'm going to major in biology, whatever. So the College of Arts and Sciences had an economics major that also allowed you to take courses at Stern. Stern itself had its own economics major as well, but it was like more, I guess, business oriented perhaps.
Okay.
But it's still the same degree, but one from Stern and one from CAS, but all at NYU. So I'm like, I'll do that.
Branch, yeah.
So I continued to take some classes at Tisch here and there, but I got my degree in economics, and I minored in business, pre-business. So anyway, went to college, graduated, great. Came home. I was kind of like applying some jobs here and there as I was graduating. Right when I was coming out of college, 2 things happened. One, the economy, the whole housing bubble happened.
It's fucking smashed.
So the economy was just dog shit for a little bit. And 2, my dad was like super ill.
Oh, shit, I'm sorry.
And it was like he went to doctor after doctor after doctor, and no one knew what was going on, and he would get like this diagnosis and this and whatever. So anyway, all these kind of factors.
Been there, man. Totally been there. I know what the fuck you're talking about, man. It's rough.
Yeah,
Rough.
sure. And my dad had like a weird upbringing where his dad was kind of like an asshole, but like made him the man that he is.
Loosened him up a little, maybe.
No, well, he was an asshole in the fact that if my dad's not working, he feels like he's not doing, like he's like, I'm messing up.
Same with my dad.
Okay.
He worked 14-hour fucking
Right.
days.
He'll go to
you know?
so all right. So our dads both probably will go to work with like a 5,000 degree fever and be like, well, yeah, like I got it. This is like,
Yep.
I'm like, we're good, dude. You have
My
a sick
dad
day.
was
Fuck
an
that.
RN for 30 years, so
There
he
you
was
go.
on call doing 8-hour shifts on top of being on call. So I totally get that.
Great. So totally simpatico there. So he was kind of sick. His business partner, like he was actually had like a pretty good business going on, like his own. He always has like worked for himself, like for the past 20 years. That guy was kind of leaving the business, and he's like, oh, like Heath can probably do this stuff, and that's what I did. So I was doing some of the administrative work for his company, and then also he was doing some kind of creative stuff of being like a sales trainer and whatever. So we were
After college?
After college, yeah.
Okay.
So I was living back at home, and I was helping him do a bunch of stuff. And my dad made a little sound studio that was it was so makeshift. But he would put his head in his little box, and I would be outside like, looking up the copy, and I'd be like directing him, and he'd be like awful at doing voiceover sometimes. So I'd be like, no, it's not like, and I would just be like an angsty like 21-year-old being a little shithead, and he'd be like my father. And I was living at home, and it was actually really awesome looking back on it, but in the moment I just everything was awful.
Yeah.
It was just the worst, and it was the worst because of me. Like I was being a fucking cunt all the time.
He was trying.
Yeah.
He was trying.
So he was paying me like a little bit around here, and I was like living at home and whatever, and I'm time was going by, and I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? So anyway, I went to school in New York, and I'm always like, New York's awesome. I love New York, but there's cons for it, and in terms of creative industry, the two hubs of the country are actually the bookends of the country. It's New York and LA.
Yeah.
And I always kind of wanted to come out to LA just kind of see what it's all about.
Have you seen Cali before that?
I've never been to Cali. I think the furthest I've been to Vegas a couple times with the family, but that's the furthest west I've ever been was
And
to-
Vegas is very different. Vegas is very different than California.
yeah, and it would always just be like
It's a very
family
different
vacation.
comparison.
We'll be like a family vacation too, hanging out, like going to like Cirque du Soleil. And,
Yeah, doing the Vegas thing.
Exactly.
Hanging out on the strip.
Right.
Kind of, yeah.
Right. So me and my dad were working on this like big project of his of like he wanted to record these like 80 voiceovers for like the sales training thing, and after this was like 4 or 5 years in the making, we were finally coming to an end of it. It was like January of like 2012, I think, or sorry, December, like going into that new year. And it was kind of like, all right, like my dad's kind of like, all right, Heath, like this has been like a good run, like I kind of think we got what we have here. Like you're 26 now, it's like I think you can like I think it's time to go out and do your thing. I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm fucking with you. So it was at December time where people
It's like a mutual thing.
yeah, and people, it wasn't like kicking me out. He's like, well,
Yeah.
you can stay here forever. Like I don't care. Like
That's
I don't
cool.
give a fuck.
That's cool. But if you want, you're comfortable to leave.
yeah, 100%. Which is good. So I didn't like feel bad. I'm not like I'm leaving. Like you didn't
had no,
finish it.
yeah, you had no
It was-
guilt.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
So it was right around December time, and this is like when people like come home from the holidays, no matter where they're at, and I was at this local bar that I go to all the time, and this girl was there. Her name was Kristen, and I had gone to elementary, middle, and high school with her, and I thought she still lived in my hometown. And I see her at this bar, and she's like, "Oh, what are you up to?" And anytime someone said like, "What are you up to?" like for work, I was just like, "Oh, like I'm working with my dad on this, that, and whatever." She's the first person like since I had been doing that where I'm like, you know what? Actually, this project that I've been working on is kind of coming to an end, and like I'm kind of like looking for a new job. Like this, she's literally the first person I said
you
that
talked
different.
to. Yeah, you interacted with about that.
Right. And I had a different answer than I had for years in the past. And she goes, "Oh, well, you should move in with like me and my boyfriend." And I thought she still lived in my hometown. And I'm like, that's a nice offer. It's cool to like not live with your parents, but I don't think I want to start paying rent to live like 10 minutes away.
Yeah.
It sounds kind of stupid.
It's like, what's the point?
Yeah, exactly. And she goes, no, I live in L.A. My boyfriend, he works for sound in the movies, and Max is out there. Max Levine, who is
You actually knew him before
we
that?
ran cross country together. Like
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, he was great ahead of me.
You guys went to fucking high school together?
Yeah, I know Max fucking well. Like I know Max before all this shit.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's funny, we've known each other this long and I didn't know that.
Oh no, me and Max go deep. Yeah.
I didn't fucking know that. That's hilarious.
His mom was my 2 younger brothers' preschool teacher. Right? Yeah. So anyway,
Wow.
So,
I had no idea.
So she's telling me this shit. I'm like at a bar, drinking, have a couple drinks, and I'm like, wait, what? And I'm like, ugh. And then this is like coming together with the idea of like this other project's kind of done, and I'm like, huh. And I'm like, you know what? I'm drunk right now, but
At least sounds good.
Let me get back to you on that. For real. Let me for real get back to you on that. So anyway, I thought about it a little bit more. I'm like, if I don't do this now, if I don't already have like a place lined up that I can just move into, you know, it's like I mean, I don't like. One of my biggest like flaws as a character is that if there's like a lot of stuff to do, I don't like doing it. You know what I mean? But if there's a situation I can plug into like right away, I'm like, ooh.
You kind of feel like the moment meets like the situation,
exactly,
kind of thing.
So I saw it. I'm like, oh, like I could like live with someone like that I know. They can show me the. It was a really good
perfect
situation.
timing. Right. You believe in timing,
exactly,
kind of thing.
Right. So I'm like, huh. So I was at dinner with my parents, like I think 2 nights later, and I'm like, Mom and Dad, just want to say something. Kristen, she's here, LA, and I think after the New Year, I'm doing that shit.
What year did you come?
So this was like December of 2012, and I told that to my parents, like, you know, it might have been like right after the New Year, or right before, I forget where it was, and I didn't know what they were gonna say, you know. I had an idea what they were gonna say, and then they both put their hands on like high five, and that's what I thought they were gonna say.
That's fucking dope.
And they're like, my dad's like, dude, one life to live, fucking do everything, fucking go in India and fucking
I like
elephant.
one life to live more than YOLO.
Right.
That's way better.
Yeah.
Way better.
Yeah, it's more classic for sure. So that was that, and I'm like, okay, well now I have like their blessing. Like now there's no way I can't do this, or else I'm an asshole. So I still had my bar mitzvah money saved up from like when I was 13, and at this point I was like 26. So I just had like, you know, not the biggest amount of money.
You're Jewish.
Yeah, I'm a Jew. My dick is very much
cut open.
Not circumcised. So I'm like, well,
we don't talk about that.
Yeah, well, we can.
In the family.
Yeah, in the family. We just chew on it. So I'm like, yeah, well, I'll go out there. If I can't make shit stick, I'll just come home. My parents still love me, and I'll figure shit out from there. But my dad knew like that I'm a creative-minded person. Like he was the one that like wanted like to go to NYU. Like he saw the
he stood behind you.
Exactly.
Stood behind you.
And he's like,
you know what's funny is that my dad was such a hard ass and such a fucking like crazy hardcore old school Mexican. He wasn't like the kind of Mexican that would get shit-faced drunk and talk a lot of shit. He was a really respectful, like, I worked in the field since I was like 7 years old.
Right, you got it so
like,
easy.
He's like, yeah, like I tune, like, yeah, he's that kind of guy. Really serious, really straightforward, really like clean living kind of guy. And when he backed me up to go to creative school and do all that kind of shit, it was like that was
endorsement. Yeah,
it was one of the biggest feelings of like somebody else believing in my abilities that I've ever had.
It would be like if Obama endorsed Trump. You're like, holy shit! Yeah, like is this guy for real then? Like, Trump might be on something we don't know about.
I never thought that like, and he even told me. Like, he told me for the longest time, he's like, I never thought we'd have a photographer in this family, like, ever. Like, I never expected you to kind of go, like, I never thought that would happen, ever, kind of thing. Like, but, I mean, he saw the photos that I was shooting, and it impressed him, and he endorsed me to do that. But, like, after the fact that I went to school and saw what he was, like, putting himself through financially, I couldn't fucking believe it. I was like, I would never do that for my kids. Never!
I would rather build a time machine.
Go get a fucking job.
Yeah, you'd rather build a time machine than go back in time and board him,
dude. Like,
just to spare him the shame.
I mean, like now, I mean that's part. I feel like that it contributes to part of my success. Like the fact that I later understood how much sacrifice he took for me to go to such a fucking ambiguous, like, going to be a photographer. My school's shutting down. The last class is on Monday. It's one of the most famous photography schools in the world.
What's it
Top
called?
3, Brooks Institute of Photography.
And where is it?
Santa Barbara. Top 3 photo schools in the world. And they're getting shut down on Tuesday.
Why?
Because all the shareholders are backing out. It's too much money going in, not enough coming back.
Got it, yeah.
So the shareholders don't give a fuck.
Sure.
School has a crazy history and reputation. They don't give a fuck about that. So that's happening. But the fact that he allowed me, the fact that he said yes, and he knew the financial circumstances and I didn't, I was just like, I want to be a photographer. Like, blah, blah, blah. I'm 18 years old.
Right.
And I would never do that. I would never fucking do that. I would be like, you're out of here. I would break it down to my son how dumb he is.
Right.
I'd be like, you are dumb because of A, B, and C.
Right.
This is why it's not going to happen. If you want that to happen, you're going to have to do this, this, and this, but you're not going to do this, this, and this.
Right.
And I'm not going to help you pay for this. I'll help you do this, this, and this. But like, maybe it's different. Like if I had a kid, I would feel different. But the sacrifice, man, like that's what you gotta pay tribute to. Like you gotta.
But the thing is,
know what I
you've
mean?
never like had a spawn of your seed come out of
No,
your
yeah.
girl's vagina where you're
Exactly.
like, I will do anything. I will fight vampires for this thing.
Exactly.
So you don't know.
It's
He-
like
yeah.
I don't have that emotional connection to anything like
Well,
that.
also too, you
So it's
don't know
like-
his position. Like, your dad might have been like, he might have taken shrooms the day before, and you're like, I don't know my spot in life. My only purpose of life is to make my kids' lives better, and like I will do anything
Dude,
to achieve their
see,
dreams.
My dad was a musician in the 60s and
Oh, so he
70s,
definitely
and
did
a
something
damn
before.
good one.
What do you play?
So he plays everything. My dad could play the bass or guitar while holding a harmonica and like having the
sure,
harmonica
little Bob
holster,
Dylan shit.
singing or playing the harmonica,
Yeah.
and be sitting at the drums while doing the floor tom and the hi hats all at the same time.
Who's autistic?
So yeah, pretty much.
That's great.
And
Take him to Vegas.
my nephew's autistic.
Could've won.
So.
Well, yeah. Well, bring them both. Bring them both. And we'll fucking buy your tuition at fucking Borgata.
My dad could
PC.
literally, it's like, oh, what am I playing? Who's not here? The bass player? Okay, I'm going to get the bass, I'm going to do the harmonica, the lead vocals, and do the bass drum and the hi-hats all at the same time.
That's pretty
And he
nuts.
could do that.
Yeah.
He wasn't the best at any instrument,
Right.
but
Jack of
he
all
could
trades,
do
master of none.
all of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
My dad was a drummer.
So it was fucking the last band my dad played in was drums.
Huh.
He started in trombone, learned the guitar, learned the bass, learned how to sing, learned how to play the harmonica, then went to drums, or actually started in the drums, went back to drums. Like, music's my dad's, like, my dad would do 14 hours at the hospital,
Uh-huh.
come home, lock himself in the garage, and start recording music. You know what I mean?
So
That's
when he
in my
so when he
blood.
sees you work a 10-hour day, he thinks you're being a piece of shit.
He thinks I'm a bitch.
Well, you are, so that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but it's so nuts how it used to be and how it is now.
Oh yeah, and he grew up in Mexico in the 50s.
Right, yeah.
In the 50s. Mexico, imagine America in the 50s, and then imagine how much worse Mexico was in the same time frame.
You know what the
Like,
fucked up thing is? The rubber is, I feel like, quickly going to meet the road of, like, America being the greatest. And it's going to be like, there's, like, people that are, like, fighting every day for water, and they're going to be, like, maybe okay.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to have clean water in, like, 30 years.
Yeah.
And they're not going to have to worry about getting water anymore. They're going to be able to use
Yeah.
that energy to, like,
It's fucking
do anything
crazy,
else.
man.
Like, fight.
We live in California.
But yeah, that's...
How fucked up is that? People who live anywhere else in the world.
We're drinking things that make us not have water in us.
I mean, yeah.
We're
not,
dehydrating
I mean,
ourselves.
Not just that, but like, how fortunate are we? Not only do we live in the United States, not only do we live in what I believe to be one of the greatest countries in the history of mankind,
Uh-huh.
but we live in one of the most liberal, free states, if not the most liberal free state, within this time period of this country.
Yeah, dude, I jerk off all the
Like-
time on the middle of Wilshire. Like, arrest me. They just won't do it. Not even hard. I came years ago.
I think I was shitting like
Oh.
on the sidewalk behind you while you were doing that.
I actually, one of my first...
I was trying to see who would get more views.
Ah, okay, yeah.
It was like live feed views. Like he's
How-
gonna jerk off.
Well, wait,
and
how
I'm
do you...
shit.
Yeah, how do you type the life views?
You gotta like film people.
Oh, okay.
You got a third guy filming.
Yeah, no, my first week here, I was walking down the street with Max, and some dude was actually taking a shit on the corner, on the northwest corner of Wilshire
It's called
and
Los
La Brea.
Angeles.
Yeah, just the breeze was coming down, and it was very upsetting.
Dude, I think I'm gonna wrap it because I gotta take a piss.
Well, it's
and
good
I
to end on
think
a
we've
shit
got
story.
fucking so much.
Yeah, man,
We've gotten so much across.
for sure.
I mean, I think that's almost 2 hours we've done.
And it was simple.
It was very fun. I
First-
think this should be called Two Hairy Fucks.
I
I think that should be the name of the podcast. Two Hairy Fucks.
I love it.
That's
Done.
it.
Wrap it in. All right, man.
Thank you guys. Have a good one.